All right.
Body and Clan 2005. You showed me your pain and I showed you mine. I showed you my scars and you showed me yours. You and I against the world. You and I against the world. I split the earth for you. Dragging heaven to hell. I split the earth in two. Dragging heaven to hell. Body and Clyde 2009. Oakland Boulevard, just you and I. We had like 50 bucks in our bank account. Tired, hungry, and stressing out. And still fuck the world until we die. I split the earth for you. Dragging heaven to hell. I split the earth in two. Dragging heaven to hell. Dragging heaven to hell. Dragging heaven to hell. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. It was always me and you from the start. Through the light and the dark.
Welcome to Game Changer Weekly. John, how are you doing this Tuesday evening?
You know, I'm doing fantastic. I was looking forward to doing this. It's getting to a point now to where it's like fun instead of nerve-wracking. So I feel really good. I feel pumped. We have so much to talk about tonight. So I got to ask you, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Didn't feel a little bit too good a couple minutes before we started. So hopefully I'll soldier on through and make it. Unlike I didn't make it last week and you carried the show with an excellent interview with Blake that I'm disappointed I couldn't make, but some things in life are more important than others. And hopefully we could get Blake on one of these days and I could ask him some questions too. But you did an excellent job with that. And that was a fantastic interview with Blake last week.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it kind of hurt that you weren't able to, because I'll tell everybody that's listening, you set up that interview primarily. You were the one that said, let's get Blake, because I was going, I don't know. He's kind of big time and I don't know if he's going to come on yet and whatnot, but you got everything together. We had our questions all together, and then you just had, family come up like that. But I tried to mention it and be like, my brother is gone. I'm like walking on one leg instead of two. I didn't know how to end the show. I was having fun though. So, but I tried my best to hold up until you got back, and it is nice to see you back for sure. Less stressful for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely really was looking forward to Blake, but you definitely asked all the questions I wanted to, and I got the answers that I was kind of expecting. And I thought that was a good insight on our GCW champion, a little bit different version than what you see on a Triller TV. So I'm glad that he was able to come on, and yeah, you did an excellent job with that and carried Game Changer Weekly for last week.
Hey, that's okay, man. I'm just, like I said, I'm just happy to see you back here. On to the news. We'll get rolling. 2 new names were added to the list of the GCW Domination Tour. We have Hawaii and Salt Lake City. So no word on which city or where in Hawaii. It was just said Hawaii. I do know that someone did come on Twitter and say that it was only a couple blocks away from, I think, Waikiki Beach. So I don't know which part, of Hawaii. I was on Kauai one time, and it was really cool because they have a beach where you can go check out like all the turtles. Of course, my wife turtle, So, yeah, it was like a wedding thing that we went out to, and it was really awesome. But yeah, Hawaii and Salt Lake City. If it's a lone Salt Lake City, I'll be able to make it, but it looks like it's LA, and then the next day is Salt Lake City. So from Las Vegas, it's 4 hours to get there to Los Angeles, and then LA to Salt Lake City is 10 hours driving.
Another one of those ones like Phoenix.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I do like that they're having those 2 bangers on the weekends now out west. It's not just LA and go home.
Yeah, I like that too. Hawaii was the shock to me. At first, when I saw Salt Lake, I was like, okay, that's a little different. But then out of the woodworks, Hawaii, and I know that's something that he's been kind of really looking forward to and talking about on the Patreon a lot, that he wants to get book a show out in Hawaii. So I am interested to see what GCW Hawaii looks like. That's going to be one interesting and fun show, I think.
Oh, wouldn't that be the place to have a bash at the beach? You
I'll
know?
have it like outside. Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so gorgeous. Have it like right when the sun starts to go down about midway through the show, old fashioned kind of. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. On to our next piece of news. Holy shitballs. Effie versus Mance in Cage of Survival. But I do want to get into that a little later. I just wanted to mention it and kind of acknowledge it because the news is a little light. We have so much to review that I kept it light for that reason. So that's all that I have for news right now. There was just so much going on that, yeah, the focus were the reviews this week for sure.
Yes, and this week we are covering GCW's Rather You Than Me, and then also at the end we're going to cover GCW's The Wrld on Lucha. So we do have a busy time ahead of us. I think Effie did get the raid going today, as we see a couple people. I see Raid and Effie's faces. So thank you, Effie, for raiding us on your Twitch channel.
Yay.
Yes,
He's the
very
best.
much. Also, Wrestle Dads goes, are we going to be attending Salt Lake or Hawaii? Actually, I got the approval from the wife if I want to go to Salt Lake, but I don't think I'm going to make that one. That's like the first week of school and everything else. That's like one of those shows that just timing wise, I don't think I'm going to make it. And especially if it's following an LA weekend too. So I might have to just keep my priorities in LA this time.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be the same way. Just taking the drive, like I said, 4 hours to LA and then 10 hours up to Salt Lake and then 6 hours back home to Las Vegas is just enough, a lot for me right now. Phoenix and Salt Lake City, if those are singular shows over the weekend, which I doubt, those would be the ones that I'd be able to make. But otherwise, right now, focus is on LA. LA is hot for GCW, and that's a show that live I always want to take part in. So that's my number one right now is LA for sure. And
they announced Danhausen returning back to LA, which will be fun. Like I think one of the first shows I ever went out to LA just to catch one of those shows. I think that was the card that he was on wrestling and doing the dance and brought out oh man, the actor, I forgot the actor's name, but yeah, it was a fun show in LA. Danhausen definitely is super popular in LA, so his return I think is going to be a moment for sure in the UCC Center.
So I'll go ahead and kind of just admit to it now too. I'm absolutely heartbroken. Just given the situation, I have school and then my mom and everything. I have to kind of go back to Ohio, kind of get things in order. But I won't be able to make this LA show, and I'm absolutely heartbroken. I've made every sold out show up until this last one or this one coming up. And the pre-sale code was Wolf.
Yeah.
Dude, my heart hurts so fucking bad. I'm sitting there with my wife going, okay, we need to get tickets. And then it just didn't happen. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, it hurt my feelings just a little bit. But I mean, I have big boy stuff to do. So, this hurts. I got one breather, unfortunately, but then I'm right back into it after that.
Yeah. All right. We ready to start the coverage of GCW's Rather You Than Me?
Yeah, let's rock it, dude.
All right. It is coming to us from the Egyptian Shrine Center in Tampa, Florida. And I will let you start off since you have some notes on the venue.
Sure. Yeah. This venue, I liked it a lot. The white walls made it look super clean. There was these grayish blue curtains in some areas. I'm a big fan of the lights hanging from the ceilings. Those were pretty cool looking. The fans filled up the place nicely. There's huge silver posts that like the lights are coming from those. They're very interesting looking. I've never seen those before. Any thoughts on this Egypt Shrine Center? Kind of just a nice clean building, right?
Yeah, I like how it looks. And now it kind of has like with those white walls, as you said, I kind of like once I see those, I know which knowing me, I'm the venue geek. So I see the white walls. I think that's what I'm going to be sticking with the most. That's not the one that also has like the plant. No, that's a different venue that has like the plants and like it kind of looks like in a little auditorium, but also has like the plants behind by the entrance. That's not the same place. So
no, not the same place, but I know which one you're talking about. I just can't give you the name off the top of my head. It just. Yeah. So
And
yeah,
they've had really good shows in Tampa. Sorry to cut you off, but the last
no,
few shows in Tampa have been fire, and I'm glad they were able to get out there again and have this card, especially because of Manson Effie. That's kind of where it started. So I thought that was a cool little tidbit as well.
yeah, it seems like Tampa's really getting them good shows down there, and deservedly so because the fans are just awesome. These video packages that keep coming out over and over. I know we talk about them all the time, and I'm going to talk about them again. They look so damn good. They make everything look so much more important, and it makes the wrestling show look more like a production. So I just wanted to mention out there, you got Ivan and a couple others that I think are really working hard on these videos, and damn good job, guys.
Yes, those videos that we play on our intros. I get like hyped just watching them, like bouncing my head, like getting ready to review it. Like I know I don't ever watch them when they first get released on YouTube. I watch them when we post them on there. So definitely good work from GoPro, Ivan, and all the GCW production team. Because yeah, as you said, as we say too at every episode, those videos I think do a really good job for newcomers or people that might have missed a few shows to catch up quickly of what's happening. If it's a storyline or even if it's just two names we haven't seen in a while, just wrestle and catch up on their history. I always enjoy that.
All right, so here's where we go south real quick. We have music hit and Cardona comes out. His arm is in a sling. He has an awesome silver colored jacket on and these purple Jordans that I couldn't stop looking at. And I'm not even one of those shoe guys. You know what I mean? Broski Jimmy follows closely behind him. Jimmy helps Cardona get in the ring. He was obviously having just a little bit of trouble there with that arm. Broski says, all hail the deathmatch king, and fans answer back, fuck Cardona. But he does have a major announcement. He suffered a life-threatening injury. He tore his pec. Fans answered with, fuck your chest, which I thought was an amazing chant. He wanted to main event Homecoming is what he said. He said, this year I'm going to be in catering, which was hilarious. Doctors said that he'll be out indefinitely. He may never wrestle in a GCW ring again. And he loves the GCW universe. He said that over and over. Funny thing, though, Cardona wrote creative control into his GCW contract. He invoked his creative control. He's no longer just the deathmatch king or indie god. He is now the GM of GCW. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cardona era is how I'd like to kind of put that out there. Then Cardona asked for Mike Chioda. Obviously, that wasn't going to happen. Adam Galt runs out, which I love Adam Galt, I think, a little more than Mike Chioda. I'll take that. He goes to announce Jimmy Lloyd, and he says, where the fuck are you from, Jimmy? Jimmy says, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He got a little bit of a pop out of that. Cardona says, it's Jimmy versus some fucking local. Yeah, right. Out comes the amazing Megan Bain. And that brought us right into our first match of the night. I'll get into a rhythm here soon. Yeah, that was our first match tonight. What do you say, brother?
I am actually really looking forward to this Cardona being GM. I think it's going to be fun. I didn't even think about it as you were saying that. What if he like kind of injects like a little GCW NWO little storyline there? Now that he's out, I think they're gonna need someone to kind of help fill his shoes in his little deathmatch royalty group that he has going there. I would like to see him kind of bring in some big names that we see in GCW as heels, like a Charles Mason, or even right now, Mance Warner kind of fits and makes a lot of sense with Steph being in the group. And now if Mats can't sit there and wrestle and he's like a big name for the group, I think Mance Warner doing that could fill in that role. Cardona helping him. That makes a lot of sense. Storyline can help save kind of whoever Mance Warner does beat for the title. I think that Cardona having some sort of influence would kind of save whoever is the champion and doesn't make it look like just a big win by Mance. But then I think that could also set up Cardona versus Mance Warner when Cardona is healthy and can come back. I don't know. That was just like one kind of story. I think they can go a lot of different ways, but I'm glad to see at least Cardona's not taking the time off. I think he sees the value in just being able to show up to shows and just run a merch table and make money. I think that's going to be and obviously is good enough for him to still stick around on not just in GCW, but I heard he's still coming and other independents too. So I'm excited though. I do want to see him be a little bit more hands-on and be a little bit more vocal and get a little bit more mic time. And I enjoyed him on commentary during this first match, even him kind of making a call back, calling it back out for KG. I know that's a name we shouldn't be saying a little bit, but if he could say it, I could say it. I enjoyed him kind of just calling for Mike Chioda, the referee and stuff. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to what Cardona is going to do as GM. And I think night one and this first opening segment was a positive. Megan Bain filling in for Trisha Dora. I think she did a GCW debut. Megan was very impressive. Jimmy also helped her make her look good. And I enjoyed the first whole part of the match and that whole opening segment. Fun sports entertainment. And yeah, Cardona was good on commentary. I enjoyed him.
So I have here in my notes that Megan looks impressive with the entrance gear. This is a surprise that she's making her GCW debut 2 weeks ahead of schedule. I'll give you just a little rundown on Megan, so we're all kind of caught up here. 25 years old, 6 years in-ring experience from East Haven, Connecticut. 2 titles in her career so far, the ICW Women's Champion, 147 days, and the OVW Champion, 150 days. She's won over 2/3 of her career matches at 145 and 58 as a record. She was awarded Best Match of the Year by Stardom and the #3 Rookie of the Year by Wrestling Observer Newsletter. A fun Cardona quote, like you were saying there, Kevin Gill, you're fired. I was laughing that Prazak thought that he was talking to him during that. Yeah. So Jimmy was in control around 70% of this match. Bane's offense looked absolutely incredible. I'm trying to keep it short so we can keep rolling here. She hits a tombstone pile driver on Broski Jimmy for the win. I put here that Megan Bain gives me Beth Phoenix vibes. I do like her a lot. The bigger body also helps lift larger wrestlers' weight. When she hits the mat with an opponent, it has a good impact. I felt that the fans really loved her, and my personal opinion is I would like to see her back immediately.
Yep, I second everything you just said there. Like, she was impressive, and for Phil, like I said, filling in for Trisha Dora on the last minute, I think she was really good, especially against Jimmy Lloyd. Jimmy also did, I think, a good job of helping her look really good and nice and strong. So I think she definitely had a very impressive first match, and I definitely want to see her back too. I think what's her first match against Joey, right? I think.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up.
I think it was like announced against Joey, or if not, she just wrestled against Joey in another promotion, I think. And that was like, I saw like bits and pieces of that match, and that was pretty good. So yes, Megan Bain and GCW, I think, can do a lot of fun stuff in GCW. Before we get back into the second match, Dave Prazak did call in the real person that's going to be on commentary the rest of the night, Lenny Leonard, and I was happy to see Lenny Leonard come back. It's been a while since we've seen him, and I just go back to what he did with the Hammerstein show and him and Prazak's chemistry, and even throughout this night, their chemistry was there the entire night, and I think Lenny Leonard provided a lot, and I was just really happy to see him back because I enjoyed his work at Hammerstein. Second match of the night was Eli Knight versus Mr. Danger.
Ooh, well, you or me first on this one. This is an interesting match here.
I'll let you go first just so I don't steal any more of your points there.
Oh, you're not stealing anything. It's just good that we're on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? I think that's a good way to put it. We've spent a lot of time together. So, You know what I mean? We're going to end up kind of doing the same things. Our cycles will start to, sync up. And so I was going to say that this match can mean a lot for Mr. Danger. This is his third singles match at GCW. His first was against Jimmy Lloyd, second against Teriyaki. He is a lovable, good guy. He's wrestled 26 matches in his career, 20 of those matches with GCW. To me, so far, I think Mr. Danger is definitely GCW.
26 matches total? Like, that's in his whole career?
Well, recorded via cage match. You know how that goes. There could be 20 unofficial somewhere, but yeah, that's where he's at, man. Yeah, between that and Zilla, we've got some real fresh talent going on here, and they're knocking it out of the park. Definitely. Eli Knight, one half of Culture Inc. He's a 3-time tag team champ. He was an action tag team champ and then a 2-time ROW champ. He was extremely rough on Danger. I found that really interesting, given that these are kind of the skinnier, kind of guys. But Mr. Danger was also a little rougher back. I felt that this was something that they needed, especially since they're kind of skinnier guys. They have to prove that they can deliver and take a punch. So I thought that was well done. Eli bloodied his nose when Danger made him eat a chair. Eli answered with a moonsault from the top rope to the floor on Danger. Danger bounced his head off the floor on a tope. It didn't look great. In Mr. Danger's moveset, I know this is a little bit off to the side, but you can see a lot of Jeff Hardy and Sabu in his movesets. I've actually seen him on top of the ladder like this, like the Jeff Hardy. I thought it was cool. I'm a Hardy fan too. Lots of high flying offense, not a lot of grappling. Mr. Danger ends up winning with a Phoenix Splash at the 8.5-minute mark. A lot of danger chants from the fans. I think that both wrestlers should be really proud of their work because I didn't spend enough time on Mr. Danger, but Eli Knight was also fantastic in this match.
Yeah, when I saw this match announced, I was really looking forward to it just because, as you said, I think it was a big match for both of them to prove a point as singles competitors because they're always like in tag teams or in the multi-person scrambles. So I really thought that them carrying a singles match for almost 9 minutes, I thought it was good. A lot of high flying and innovative moves. And I just think it was a good way to kind of show the fans that, hey, we're not just crazy kind of doing crazy spots during scramble matches or multi-person matches. We could actually carry a singles match one-on-one, and I think it delivered, and I want to see now both of them in more singles matches. We kind of talk about a lot of the newcomers with the scrambles, and we see them in scrambles, and hey, now we want to see them in singles, and this was, I think, a spotlight match for two talent that we usually see in multi-person matches, and I'd want to see it run back. I would like to see them just continue their singles matches moving forward too in GCW. That will lead us to our third match as the Garbage Stocks. The Alec Price, Billy Starks, and Cole Radrick go against Los Desperados, Gringo Loco, Arez, and joining them, Jack Cartwheel. I just knew this was going to be a fun trios. I know we kind of talked about it yesterday on another podcast that we kind of did. That I thought this was actually probably one of my most fun matches of the whole weekend, just because everyone loves all 6 of those competitors. They're all fan favorites, and they're all so unique and different in their own ways that I think when they mesh together, they will shine through. And I think right away, seeing Billy Starks and Arez start the match off and get a few minutes by themselves and do some cool one-on-one work in the ring, I was hyped for this match, and it definitely delivered. I got more notes, but I know you got some pretty in-depth notes there as well.
Yeah, I'll start with, we were on the Wrestle Dads yesterday. We sat down with them, had a great interview. They asked all kinds of questions of us that we've basically never really had before. So that's one of the ones that I want to tell the listeners. If you have a chance, go over to @WrestleDadsPod on Twitter. You can kind of hook up with them over there, but there's probably going to be an episode out in the next week or two. And if you have a chance, I'll let everybody know when it comes out. We had a hell of a good time. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned that. Back onto the notes here. The Garbage Stocks, they came out first. Cole Radrick has his recently won brass ring in his mouth. Billy has her championship over her shoulder. Nice to see that championship being allowed on TV. Jack Cartwheel is a desperado tonight with Gringo and Arez. Normally Latigo is in that spot. Cole pulls out the 1-inch punch, one of my favorites. He sends Cartwheel flipping backwards. Billy confusingly hit Cole mid-match, and you can actually hear Cole say, "Why are you hitting me?" And he's kind of laughing in the middle of it. Him and Gringo share a little bit of a smile there. And just as fast and full of teamwork as one could expect. Desperados had their teamwork together early. Garbage Stark's team started to click as a group more towards the middle of the match. Alec and Billy had a destroyer combo on Jack. I thought it was absolutely sick. Then Cole had Jack on their shoulders, and Alec Price delivers a double foot stomp to the chest from the top rope for the win. This was a 9-minute match. The fans love the Desperados, but they really love the Garbage Stocks. So they're way over with fans. I'm the same way. Beautiful 9-minute match. What are you thinking on this match?
I wrote that Jack fit in right in with Desperados, and I'm not surprised just because his chemistry that he has with Gringo in pretty much every single match that they're in together. I wrote this match was fire. Like, it was just back and forth. The crowd was into it. Everyone was showing off their moves. A lot of innovative trios moves from the Desperados, but I think the Garbage Starks put together a nice little trio set as well. With like that, well, I forgot what destroyer. It wasn't a Canadian destroyer, but I saw someone else call it a different name online. But where Alec Price kind of tossed Billy onto. Oh my God, I forgot who she did this. Anyway, they tossed Billy into the Canadian destroyer, which I thought was good. And I was kind of a little bit shocked that the Garbage Starks. Oh my God, I'm trying to do this Boston accent.
It's hard to see.
That's what's fucking me up. I think the Boston accent.
I kept saying stocks, garbage stocks.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, but I'm just going to keep it. The Garbage Starks getting the win was surprising to me, just because of Los Desperados and how much momentum they've had as a team, and especially trios. But I love it just because I want to see the Garbage Daddies get some momentum, especially if Cole uses his brass ring to cash in for him and Alec for a tag team title match. I'm happy and kind of thinking that's where they're going to lean into with this, especially with the Garbage Daddies getting some momentum. And the Desperados are always impressive, and every time I see them, I'm always crying for a trios title. And this is another match where, yeah, I think a trios title would be fun in GCW. Throwing a little trios teams, would start building up some trios factions. I would be happy to see a trios belt introduced, because I know you always want to see Gringo Loco strapped up. I want to see Arez strapped up now. I want to see him and Arez and Gringo definitely strapped up. With Latigo or with Jack Cartwheel, even. I think as a trios, they just always have fun matches. And yeah, I thought this was probably one of the most enjoyable matches of the weekend, in my opinion. Right. This will lead us to match number 4, as it is Jordan Oliver going against Timothy Thatcher. I have a lot to say. I'll let you go first on this one, because I have a lot to say at the end of this match.
Sure. I'll just, because we're 30 minutes in and 30 minutes just went like that. Now that I have a chance, Defenders of the Faith, a big chump, Wrestle Dads, The Bizzard. Who else do we have in here? Michael Young, dude, is awesome. Jeffrey Young, hello. Thanks for coming in here. There's quite a bit of us in here right now. Feel free to talk down there amongst yourselves or ask questions if you want to. We're going to go over them. We're just doing the review right now. So feel free. It's pretty cool in here to just relax. So just relax and have some fun. So we're good with most questions. We'll see what happens there. All right, back to this match here. Thatcher, let me give you just a little rundown on him. He's a previous WWE, Evolve, Noah, AEW, Ring of Honor badass. 41 years old, 19 years experience, trained by Josh Barnett and the WWE Performance Center. He's an 18-time champion and was a WXW tag team champ with Walter as the team ring conf for over half a year. Their longest title reign was 596 days as the Evolve champion. His average title reign is 220 days. Again, I kept my notes short on this match. Thatcher was in control about 40% of the time. They couldn't figure out who they liked more. It was very back and forth at times, but Jordan Oliver still pulled out the win in 11.5 minutes. I wrote here, I would want Thatcher back if it was Bloodsport. He definitely has that MMA vibe, and it shines through even when he wrestles.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's actually like the best suit for him, like especially too when he wrestles against other brawlers. I think that MMA comes out in him, and he excels in that part of wrestling. I love the hot start from Jordan, just coming out with the big boot and trying to get the victory right away. I thought this was a great technical bout between both of them. Jordan has definitely improved since being overseas. I could definitely see it. He's a lot smoother, a lot cleaner, and he's also showcasing different moves and different styles a little bit more often than we were seeing before he left. So I'm enjoying it, and this was another big win for Jordan. And here's kind of where I would I know I might have talked about it on the last podcast I was on, but with another big victory over another big name, I wouldn't mind seeing Jordan at this point, since he does no longer the JCW title, wrestle and go for the GCW World title against Blake. I think that stylistically they could always have a really good feud and definitely good matches and stuff like that. But I don't know. But Jordan's getting some big names or big victories over big names. I wonder if this is going to lead to something like that and kind of elevate him from the JCW title scene to the world title scene.
I'm really interested to see where he's at now that he's went over and done his thing and come back, because we can see a 5 to 10% upgrade there from when he left till now. A lot of wrestlers, especially a lot of the ones that we have interviewed before, have said, look, when I wrestle with Jordan Oliver, I tend to get stretched a little more to my limits, and it kind of helps me and pushes me to be a better wrestler. So I'm not against it. I'd be really curious to see when he will get that title shot. I don't think it's going to be too far away. He's highly popular and he's got his shit together as a wrestler. So I think it's only a matter of time. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, this is going to be a pro Jordan show on me. I'm going back to our roots here and shouting out Jordan, because all these big victories. I'm glad he's even getting like the big names to having. He's now kind of the one that's having these spotlight matches that kind of like Speedball used to get all the time, with the bigger names kind of coming to GCW outside of GCW. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Jordan now that he's back, hopefully full time and out of one title scene. I wonder if they're going to kind of put him into another one. Our fifth match of the evening was Zilla Vatu versus John Wayne Murdoch. I thought this was a huge singles match for Zilla. Once again, being I don't know if you have it, being probably what his 10th or 11th match ever total.
Yeah,
compared to last time.
He's a young one in ring. Oh, he's a young one overall.
Yeah, for sure. But he's been so impressive too. So that's why I think this was a big singles opportunity, a match for him, and an opportunity against John Wayne Murdoch, a pretty big name in GCW, and I think a different opponent. John Wayne Murdoch kind of going against Zilla is a little bit different and outside of John Wayne Murdoch's box as well. So I was interested to see how this match would go, if it would kind of lean a little bit ultra violent just because of John Wayne Murdoch and what we saw last time from Zilla. But I thought this was a good match again for Zilla. Another spotlight match. John Wayne Murdoch once again made Zilla look really good, I think, on how he was selling some of the moves. And Zilla just goes 100%. No matter what move he's doing, where he's running to, or where he's moving to, he just goes balls out to the wall. And I love to see it now because he's so young, but I wonder how. I think he's going to need to change it up a little bit to kind of slow down and let some of his big moves start to breathe and tell a story with during his matches. But as of right now, seeing this young cat just flying all over the place, I'm enjoying watching it, and I thought this was a really good match again for him.
Killer video to hype up the match. This was one of those ones that you're going to hear me say that a couple times tonight. I don't know why, but I was really into the video. Who knows? Maybe it was just late night and I was partying. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Nervous for Zilla at times. He's still doing a lot of learning. Murdoch was working heel. He got some extra Mid-South in him that night. He's walking around the ring saying he's the tribal chief. He's putting his finger in the air, really mocking Fatu, and I thought it was wonderful. Murdoch can slow things down and use his experience to help Zilla through. I'd seen that quite a few times. I felt like this was at times a slow burn of a match, and necessarily so with Zilla. We're trying to have him work in pieces. What's a good word for it? Like chewable pieces. Yeah, I think things like that. With the 3 minutes it took Zilla to set up two door bridges, he could have pinned Murdoch. So really think about sitting there and spending 2 minutes, 3 minutes to build something kind of simple. Zilla pancakes himself onto two door bridges on the floor. Those are the ones that he built earlier. Fatu later was put through another door that was in the corner in the ring. Zilla hits a huge splash for the win. Murdoch attacks Zilla after this match. So it was just heel, heel, heel. Definitely a little Mid-South going on in Murdoch's, mind. So yeah, just a little south of 10 minutes. I think it was pretty darn good, again, because it's still less than 20 matches for Zilla.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with what you said, though, that 3 minutes, like that's where I kind of said, like, that's where I said slow down, but not that much slowing down, setting up the tables. But I think that's just experience. He'll get that. And I just love to see him just kind of going and just giving it his all, no matter what the move is. He's just flying and risking his body. And like I said, it's fun to see at this young age, but I know as he gets older, that's going to have to slow down. But I think it will just benefit him to show like all these impressive moves that he's doing. If he gives it time to breathe, let the fans kind of take it in and kind of pop for it and kind of show him the love and get the crowd interaction. I think that's just going to benefit him in the long run.
I also feel like Jacob Fatu was absolutely instrumental in helping to show him a style that can hide his green, situation. And I really wish that he would have maybe gotten another year under his belt with Jacob before Jacob left, because I felt like what would have happened here is he could have made a younger Jacob.
Yeah, I still see it too, but yeah, I think grooming him just like how he would, and how he kind of grew up. I think that would be vicious. I think we were really getting excited to seeing Jacob and Zilla as a tag team in GCW. So I definitely, that's a good point by you with Alex Zane, Jacob Fatu. All right, our next match is the aforementioned Alex Zane going against Micro Man. I thought this was going to be an interesting one just because Alex Zane's kind of lately been on the more serious path with his matches in New Japan. But I enjoy every kind of match that Alex Zane does, and I thought he had a little comedy, a little Micro Man kind of match in him. And I thought he actually did really good in this match. I was more impressed with Zane than I was with Micro Man. I think Zane just decided to have fun with it, and I'm glad to see that. And I'm also glad to see Microman getting love in every single city he goes to. We were kind of also talking about that on the podcast. It doesn't matter where he goes. Microman is just getting love, and what started off as a 1 or 2 city show has now turned into multi-cities, and it's fun. They got a lot of fun stuff, and I think now with Masquerita Dorada kind of getting involved on the next night or the World on Lucha, I would like to kind of see a Microman and Masquerita Dorada tag team or some more matches. I think that would be some fun in a multi-person match. But this was a fun match, and Zane killed it in his role. And I just thought this was entertainment. I'm kind of glad that this match fit perfectly of where the card was and what we were to expect for the rest of the evening.
I'm into a little people scramble. Bring in the micro wrestlers that over at the company there and bring them in for a show. People would go nuts. The GCW fans would just love it. Speaking of love, I love seeing Alex Zane. He's always a guaranteed quality match. Microman has chance before he's entered through the curtain. He's way over. 5 straight singles wins since he lost to Joey Janela back at 56 Birds in Columbus in January. I stole that right from, I think, Dave Prazak. So I'm just being fair with that one. The mouth part of Microman's mask has now been removed, so we can see him smile. It's literally his face mask. Funny thing, because it's total face move. Alex established being the heel by getting on his knees to fight Microman. The fans booed hard. He mocked fighting Microman even worse, and the fans booed even harder. Micro's so over that when Alex Zane punches him, every single punch and kick will garner boos. He was letting Alex Zane's massive ego and overconfidence cause him to make vital mistakes, grossly underestimating Micro. This seems to happen quite a bit in Micro's matches. Micro pulls out the win with a victory roll in just a couple seconds over 9 minutes long. What are you thinking in this match?
I liked it. Like I said, I think Alex Zane played the perfect foil. I like his more seriousness now that he's in New Japan. I think that's elevated his game to another level. But him being able to kind of do this kind of match was entertaining to me. Like I said, I'm a big Alex Zane fan, so him kind of being able to do the comedy matches and get some more facial expressions out there and have fun is the best kind of version of Alex Zane. And yeah, Microman brought out the best in Alex Zane in this match, or the worst. I don't know, best or worst.
Jeffrey, I'm just going to mention one of the people in chat here. He was just asking about Uncle Howdy. I don't know anything, especially like we're in a GCW bubble. Brant, you may know a little something, but since we do GCW reviews, I wish I knew more. Honestly, I am a big Bray Wyatt fan, but since he's passed now, I don't know. That's really all I know, man. It's going to be really hard to try to fill in that spot. So it's going to be all about how they handle him in ring and storyline. The entire character is going to be hinging off of the creativity of creative.
So I'll just piggyback off that real fast. I know it's off topic. I think what they're doing with Uncle Howdy is nice. The QR codes is a fun thing again to call back to the Fiend. But I'm going to quote or give Russell Dads a credit here. So he tweeted out on one of the videos, it like is actual phone number. And if you dial that number, there's like a 2-minute message. Like you could hear some creepy shit and some voices and like,
What?
wait till you see the family I'm building kind of stuff. So I actually am more into it now because I love those little things where it's not just in the ring in front of me. I could look it on my phone. I could call a number for it. I love the Easter egg stuff. And they are hitting the Easter egg part of it. And with that phone call, it was fun. And actually, after that phone call, I'm more excited to see what happens with the Wyatt Circle 6 or whatever. Not Circle 6, the Wyatt 6 that they're coming out. I don't know why I said that. Freudian slip there.
it happens sometimes. So yeah, Microman took this win, and moments later, Pero attacks him with the chain that he generally always has with him. He starts choking Microman. Pero then goes outside the ring, finds a door, and props it in the corner inside the ring. It's not looking good for Microman. Pero picks up Microman by the head and then turns him over and holds him by his feet and starts swinging him and laughing. And the crowd did not like that at all. Then we hear that familiar bell ring. For Whom the Bell Tolls plays across the loudspeakers and the fans go wild. Nick Gage is in the building and he's not going to take any shit from Pero tonight. So Gage and Pero erupt into a huge fight. Micro and Gage eventually put Pero through the door. Micro is getting that rub, and why not? So here we are again. Now we have Gage coming out, and it's just like he's the touch of gold kind of thing. And this is where we're at right now. And yeah, it went from just a couple shows to now Microman's just hitting that GCW tour with us. And we love him. Again, it's all about personality. We absolutely love him. Big, small, it does not matter. If you have love and you have personality, it shows over here, and we are thankful as fans.
So yes, very thankful all the times we see Microman. I put up a giant yes when I saw Pero come out, and then when Nick Gage came out. Give me Pero versus Gage. I think Pero's earned it. Gage is looking phenomenal still. But I think Pero needs like a match like that. He needs like kind of a match to kind of get him back on board, get him in front of. It's been a while since we've seen him kind of even Rich and Powerful or whatever they're called. Yeah, Rich and Powerful. That I kind of like they dropped off when they seemed like they were about to start hitting some stuff together as a tag team. So if this kind of leaves Pero by himself, I want to see Pero being used in GCW like the monster that he was all collective weekend. So I was really happy to see them just interact, and kind of now I'm hoping for a match between the two. Microman putting Pero through the door and then sharing that moment with Nick, I thought was cool to see, and a perfect way to end the segment. And I kind of hope it leads to a Nick Gage versus the Rich and Powerful kind of a feud. Is kind of what I wrote there, because like I said, I'm excited with Pero interacting with Gage.
It didn't even hit my head until you mentioned it. That's a fantastic idea. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. There's too much damage that could be laid down between both of them to not have them meet. They're two juggernauts.
And Pero's does death matches too. Like, I would like to him kind of showcase that little monster side a little bit more, and him against Nick Gage in a ultra violent match, a death match, I think would be a good springboard for Pero in GCW. Right. The next match was a surprise edition, as it is a 4-way tag match. As Violence is Forever defends the tag team titles against Bob and Go. I love that team name. Bobby Flacco and Ariel Van Gogh. Also against the team of Rico Gonzalez and Hunter Drake. And main event. First note I wrote, I was excited, and I love the team name of Bob and Go. I was also glad to see Rico and Hunter back together after their impressive performance in LA. Yes, I was holy shit. The main event's even in this match. I'm glad that they're back together and everyone's healthy. Love the Flying Lion spot, as I always do. This match was nonstop. And one thing that kind of stood out for me was that playbook, the double team playbook that Violence is Forever has, is just so deep. And every match, it seems like we get new tag team maneuvers from them. And I think that just shows why they're one of the, if not the best tag team in in independent wrestling right now, and that's why they are the GCW tag champions. So I'd love this match just because of all the variety that we got with the tag teams, and Violence is Forever stays strong and picks up another victory.
All right, so I'm going to be short and sweet. I could use some more colorful personalities in that tag team championship spot. I feel that GCW is brighter and full of more life than it was a few years ago. And I feel like Violence is Forever fits old GCW better than they do now. No disrespect whatsoever. But I like people who come out to the ring looking like they want to be there. I'm supposed to sing their song, but also hate them. So that's a little confusing too. Desperados, Bussy, Garbage Daddies, and many others are available and would please most fans much more. I had just seen tonight, and I don't know any situation, so I'm not sure, but Los Macizos just showed Miedo from Los Macizos just posted a couple hours ago. They're wide open, baby. Bring them back, because just as they were starting to really hit a huge face period, especially with Ciclope kind of leading that with the Macizos, they were gone. So again, I don't know either way. Maybe they're doing something else now and it's not going to be an American thing for a while. Maybe visas are funny, but I would like to definitely see them back. They're more versatile than Violence is Forever. They can do glass a lot more. They're excellent as singles. So I just miss my boys. And again, I wasn't a big Macizos fan at first. You were. And I'm like, what's with these guys? And then 6 matches, I was a fan. And now I'm a huge fan and I want him back. I miss him. It's like my cousin I ain't seen in 2 years. Like, come on back, bro. We missed you a lot and we loved you a lot. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I get scared when I see those kind of text message or tweets out. I always kind of wonder if there's something going on, as we've seen of other kind of past people that have left GCW without getting booked and kind of cold-blooded like that. I really hope that's not the case, because yeah, Macizos are my like, I think they're like, other than Nick Gage and Joey and like Mance, I think they are like the lifeblood of GCW. They live it, they breathe it. You see exactly how much it means to them, how much they were willing to work, even being hurt with the separated shoulder. Miedo was hurt every week. Ciclope got a concussion. He was back like almost the next night, I think. So
yeah, his back blew out one night. Miedo was putting his fucking shoulder back in place like every match for a series of a couple weeks in a row. Workhorses.
Yes.
Yeah. So no disrespect to anyone. It's just, I hope I gave my reasons appropriately. So sorry for cutting you off, but
no, you're good.
And you love Violence is Forever. So I'm so sorry, because we always meet pretty good on everything. I haven't been sold on them appropriately, and I don't know why. It's just, I think my wife said it. She goes, it's like they just do. There's no flair, there's no fireworks. It's just they go in, they do. And that's fair. That's fair. But like I said, I think that was GCW 3 years ago. I think GCW now has a little more personality to it. So it's personal preference. I'm so sorry. Just an opinion, nothing against anybody or the squad. It's just, I used to really look forward to the GCW tag team title defense, and now just not as much.
I just wish they would have built a feud, like an actual, like just feuds going for the titles instead of just random. Like, I don't know. Like, I always go the story, make it make sense to me, not just, hey, this is the first time we've seen main event. Hold on. Is that one Luna, right?
That's Luna. She's staring at me right now. I never take my whatever and put anywhere. There's also my lightsaber from Disney World back there.
Luna's like, hello. What did you say about Violence is Forever?
What's up, baby? She's a good girl. That's what I see every day. Oh. Okay, here we go.
Save that for our Patreon.
My son is a huge Christmas fan, so the Christmas tree stays up. Also, it's partially broken, so if we take it down, it ain't going up again, and it costs money. So, yeah, man, there we go. Okay.
I just think I agree with you. I think the part of the Violence is Forever is, I think they are way better as the badass heels that just come in and beat everyone's ass and just walks away and goes with it. But when they're sitting there, as you said, playing to the crowd, getting into the song, and then like kind of calling for the fans' help, but like not help, but like kind of looking to the fans a little bit more. Oh yeah, you said lightsaber. You hit the magic word there. I just really think that Violence is Forever should stick to the badass heels that just kind of like have a chip on their shoulder that it took so long to get to GCW. Because I think, Brad, when we first started this podcast, when I first saw them in that Black Label pro show, I just thought they just had GCW written all over them because they could do the ultra violence. They are a badass tag team. Uh-oh. and they just work too good as a tag team, a heel tag team. So I think that's kind of where they're just an identity. Like 1 week they're faces, 1 week they're heels, and that's kind of, I think, maybe throwing it off for you. As I think that is for me as well. I've not soured on this run, but I just think it just deserves a little bit more of a story. As many tag teams as GCW has, they should be building up a feud. Like now they're starting to build up the garbage daddies to that point. I hope they kind of, as they're building momentum, kind of get them interacting with Violence is Forever a little bit more to start seeding or planting the seed and start to tell a story that will get fans more invested in this title run. Because to me, I think that's what's been missing and kind of dragging as of late. Just to go back to Macizo, say, yeah, I need them back. I don't know. I hope whatever's going on can be, if it's the Visa thing, I'm going to stick to that one because that makes a little bit more sense and kind of eases my mind a little bit more. But I really hope that Los Macizos somehow find their way back into GCW so that way we can see more of Miedo and Ciclope, because I am giant fans of them. And if I don't see them, even this little bit of time, it's only been since a collective we haven't seen them, but I already feel like it's been a long time.
Defenders of the Faith. I had to fire up the lightsaber. Now that one there is my son's. I am a green guy. I grew up on Skywalker and Yoda, so like that's mine. I got mine sitting around somewhere. And someone has the crystal for the black and also the red one. So we've got the Vader one too. It's pretty cool. Love the shirt and saber. Oh, I just wanted to mention, I make my shirts myself. So this is actually the first shirt I literally ever made. This was a white shirt and I turned it. Hey, we're doing a GCW review show, by the way. Look at all the shit in my house is like.
I'm about to set a plug here. So if you like that lightsabers too, Defenders of the Faith makes his own lightsabers and does it on YouTube. So check out the YouTube there and you can see all the coolest lightsabers that he actually makes by hand. It's actually really, really impressive.
No kidding, dude. That is awesome. That is so awesome. All right. Yeah. So I make my own. My wife, we go to the shows in these shirts also, because when you go and you watch on TV, it's just a sea of black shirts. So I'll sit front row in LA and you guys can see me I don't sell the shirts. The most I would do is like someone would maybe like mail me a shirt or give me a shirt and then I tie dye it for them and they'll give me a little bit for it. But right now I'm working on taking the all black shirts and giving them like giving them like different colors. And back to wrestling, everyone. Dude, I can squirrel so hard. I am so sorry. Bobby and Ariel, I love. If we can see more Ariel Van Gogh, I mean, we're seeing plenty of Bobby. I just want to say, let's add Ariel on top of that pile there. Incredibly happy to see both. I think Ariel's becoming a welcome sight. He has a great aura about him, physically impressive and fast. A busy man. I'd have to say that this Ariel character is definitely an improvement from his old character. Off the top of my head, I can't remember who that was again, but this Ariel Van Gogh character is really giving him a lot more attention. I love Rico and Hunter, another New South connection. They did a fantastic job. Their double team stuff was a huge highlight of the show on Twitter. Main events are one of Brand's favorites. They weren't featured as much as I would have liked, but not everyone can shine every show. After Jay Leon's singles bout, or not singles, but his single in the scramble, what was it, quite a few shows ago, I'm really impressed by him. And I don't think we would have seen that without him doing a singles type thing on his own. So it's nice to see that every now and then, to see that there is a tag team where if you break them apart, they're just as or more impressive than what you normally would see them as together here. Violence is Forever retains. It's a little under 8 minutes long, kind of a short match for the tag team title, but I think that it got the work done. And
so this will go off of my next note here. I wrote, this card is super deep, and I love it because I think we've had so many matches, but they've been all under like the 10-minute mark. But they don't feel like they're like super ending super quick. I think they've been paced perfectly. So, yeah, I enjoyed that tag match for what it was, but I just want Violence is Forever to have a little bit more purpose with the tag titles. Moving on to match number 8. It's Miyu Yamashita versus Joey Janela. I wrote here, it feels like every time I've seen Miyu, I've always seen improvements. She looks more comfortable in the ring, and I think this one was going to be a different match than what I've seen of hers, because Joey's matches tend to kind of don't stay in the ring. They kind of go all over the place and add some sort of weapons or doors and chairs. So I was interested to see how Mia would adapt to this kind of matchup, because I haven't seen her in it. And knowing Joey and the role that he's been on lately, I thought I was expecting a crazy and good match. And yeah, Miyu stepped up to the plate here, and I was glad to see her kind of showcase another side of her wrestling that we don't see often with Joey. And this is exactly what I was expecting, and I was happy to see Miyu once again improve and show me a different version.
I'll go back just for a second and mention Great One down here. He's finally in here to help us get those deep questions answered. Formerly known as Zenshi. That is correct, dude. Thank you so much for helping us out there. Yeah, Ariel Van Gogh used to be Zenshi, and let me tell you, I love me some Ariel Van Gogh. Again, great personality. It matters. Let me go ahead and give the fans just a little brush up on Miyu Yamashita. I almost said Yamashita. Miyu, 29 years old, 10 years in ring. This is her second match at GCW and her singles debut. She has 13 title runs in her career, winning almost 2/3 of her 572 matches. Her longest title run was 484 days as Tokyo Prince of Princess champion. She won that belt 4 times for a total of 1,239 days. Her average title run is 180 days, which is about half a year. The match was truly tailored by Joey, I feel, to fit Miyu's style. It was extremely complimentary, and I felt that she did a damn good job answering back on that. Joey goes for the handshake in the beginning and blindsides Miyu with a chop. We have our bad guy in the match. We centered a lot of his early offense around Miyu's knees, attempting to take away a lot of Miyu's hard striking offense. At one point, I heard Joey say, "I'm going to drop her right on her frickin' head." A great example of why having some sound ringside is beneficial. Only some, but I will say GoPro did it perfect there. Miyu eventually fired up mid-match and started tearing into Joey Janela. Her knees are now working now, whereas Joey pretty much disabled them earlier in the match. They're trading punches, and we're back at a more even level between both competitors. I feel like Miyu shines when she's on offense. If you go back and watch the match, you're going to see when she's the one calling the shots, delivering the hits, that's where she really shines. I felt this was a real wrestling match with no bullshit. Referee Scarlett did an exceptional job in this one. Watch her reactions. She's really amplifying the performer's strikes by strike most times. And there's an awesome spot where Joey hits a superplex on Miyu. She stands up immediately and hits her own superplex. But in the end, after a 15.5-minute match, Joey hits a package pile driver on Miyu for the win. So our winner here, Joey Janela. You're on mute, my man.
It's a good thing. So I'll start right there.
Your turn.
I love your note there on Scarlett, because I did kind of notice that. I didn't make a note of it though, but like, yeah, Scarlett's facial reactions, and usually in every match, she helps out, kind of selling the impact of everything and like the emotions of the match. But in this match, I think it did a really good job helping Miyu out, especially with Joey every slam that he did on her. Her selling it kind of helped out. I'm glad you mentioned that, because yeah, we always got to shout out the referees too. All right, this will lead us to the main event, and I know this is going to be mostly yours, so let me get my notes out of the way here real fast. I just thought this was going to be intense. Your first notes, what my next note that I had written, so I'll wait for you. It had me this match has had me wincing with what violence I was expecting to see, especially after that the video package. I was kind of like watching this match with one eye open to kind of see what kind of craziness we were going to get. And Yeah, I'll let you take it over to because like I know you got way better notes than I do because this is one of those matches that I just kind of wrote down one cool spot, and then this is one you have to go check it out because of the violence. And you want to find out what GCW is in 2024 right now. This is the match I think exemplifies what to expect from GCW moving forward to the rest of this year.
All right, so that opening video package, again, extremely well done, hyped up the match beautifully. This is 21 minutes of straight violence. The whole atmosphere got tense, and you could see fans were heavily invested from the first entrance. The minute Effie's music hit, it was like, boom, everybody knew it was go time. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just kind of dig a little deep before I go into the minute by minute. I can see what kind of match Effie's about to have by the look in his eyes. Takes me 3 seconds at most. You can see it even in his body movements. Maybe I've seen too much wrestling. It's probably true. But you'll know if he's anticipating serious bodily harm or not. Someone's getting hurt bad tonight by what I was seeing there. I can't read Mance the same. Dude is 110% always on. I like watching him yelling as he comes down the entrance. Mance is combative and in your face. A middle finger went straight in my face in LA. When Mance is in Mance's mode, just move the fuck out of the way. He was definitely in super Mance mode here.
Just real fast, did you see who we got into it with at the beginning?
Was it Skittle?
No, this was one of our fans that we usually get, the Wrestling Kindness.
Wrestling with Kindness?
Yeah, Wrestling with Kindness. Yeah, he got like actually Wrestling with Kindness actually changed his profile picture to just him and Mance just face to face at each other. I thought that was kind of cool. It was cool to see a fan that we know kind of get a cool spotlight moment with Mance Warner there.
Yeah, that's one of our dudes. That is so cool. I'll hit him up later on tomorrow, or like I'll hit him up tomorrow morning, talk to him about it, see if maybe he has a little insight. The fans are 100% pro Effie. Adam Galt referees this chaos and does a damn good job. So here we go. This is what's going on the Plant podcast. I used to take important matches or death matches, and I would break them down minute by minute. We have a 21-minute match here. I'm not lying. I'm going to read you blow by blow, minute by minute, because this match was so incredibly important. And in my personal opinion, this is the feud of the year. So I wanted to go ahead and just give it the level of importance I feel right now that Mance and Effie wanted it to have and what GCW is lifting it up to be. So go ahead and relax. Here we go. I would say go get a drink, Brant. I'm going to tell everybody a story. It's story time.
I'm going to pop in a high chew and then lay back and get comfortable here.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so here we go. We're going straight into the opening minute. Mance attacks Effie with a screwdriver before the match starts. Then the bell rings. Mance attacks with a screwdriver. Effie is completely writhing around on the ground. The first minute you have a chance to see Effie's face, he's already bloodied from the forehead. Mance doesn't let up with the screwdriver. Effie is leaking bad already. Effie's already on the Muta scale. Mance is working Effie in the corner. He's trying to fight back. Galt already has a 5 count on Effie. Effie has blood all over his arms, chest, and forehead. He spits in Mance's face defiantly. Minute 2. Mance goes to the outside underneath the ring and grabs a door with 2 chairs. He searches for weapons around the ring. He's hitting Effie from the ring apron. Effie's a bloody mess. Mance Warner finds a garbage can and throws it into the ring, hitting Effie as it falls. Minute 3. Mance somehow finds 2 crutches underneath the ring. Then he goes on to the stage. He grabs the ring bell. He's bringing it to the ring. You can hear the fans yelling, "Fuck you, Mancer." It's all over the arena. He starts beating Effie with a trash can. Galt is administering the count again for Effie. Minute 4. Mance is patiently waiting for Effie to get back up. He has the ring bell in his hands, getting ready to attack. Effie stands up and hits a big spear on Warner. The bell's fallen out of Mance's hands. Effie's swinging and hitting Mance really hard with the chair. Effie delivers a big boot in the corner and he sets up a chair. Minute 5. Effie with another big boot. Effie delivers under the rainbow into the steel chair, face first. Effie then hits Mance with the blockbuster. Adam Galt's now administering the count on Mance Warner. Effie's beating Mance into the corner with a door. Minute 6, Effie's repeatedly beating on Mance with that door. He finally props the door in the corner as Mance falls down. Effie throws the trash can at Mance Warner, and he's now beating the dents out of the trash can and then beating Mance with the trash can. He places the trash can over Mance's head and starts beating on the garbage can with 2 crutches that he found on the mat. Minute 7, Mance now has the garbage can fit snugly on his head, and Effie spears Mance through the door that was propped in the corner. Mance did not see it coming. Both men are down, and we have a double count going on by Galt. Minute 8, Effie's now sitting in a chair and taunting Warner. He stands up out of the chair, picks up the chair, folds it, and throws it at Warner's head. He throws a second chair into Warner's head. Mance is now wobbling on the ropes. Mance eats a third chair to the head. Mance rolls off to the ground. Effie comes over with a 4th chair, and he throws that from the wrestling ring to the floor where Mance is laying. Minute 9, another heavy chair shot from Effie onto Warner's head. Effie's talking mad shit to Warner. Warner's seated outside on the floor. Effie pulls Warner back into the ring, and then he grabs that ring bell. He puts the ring bell to Warner's dick and rings it. Effie then takes the ring bell and hits Mance in the head with it. Minute 10, huge Effie chants are going throughout the crowd. Mance is down on the ground. Adam Galt gets to a 7 count. Effie's now unloading punches onto Mance Warner's face, talking shit the whole time. He throws a chair into Mance's head as he lays in the corner. Minute 11, Mance rolls to the floor. Effie exits the ring and starts looking for chairs underneath the ring. He's grabbing them by the handfuls. Mance is completely bloodied, and Effie is throwing chairs at Mance's face. Mance is now easily taking probably 10 to 15 chair shots. Mance's blood and Effie's blood are all over the floor. Effie is now building a chair bridge of 6 different chairs. Minute 12, Effie and Warner are now fighting each other on the apron. Mance with a low blow on Effie. Effie was dropped onto the top turnbuckle. Minute 13, what do we have? For once, the ring bell suddenly... All right, so minute 13, Mance has Effie draped over the top turnbuckle. He's delivering nasty forearms to Effie's back. Effie's still laying on that top turnbuckle. Effie's thrown from the top and only hits one of the 6 chairs on the floor. The shot looks nasty. Effie's laying on the ground in a mixture of both men's blood. Minute 14, Galt is at an 8 count. The fans come alive. Effie chants going throughout the crowd. Mance has a crutch in his hand. Effie climbs back into the ring. He's barely able to get onto his hands and knees. Mance swings with the crutch and misses. Effie answers with a sack rider. Minute 15, Adam Galt is counting again. Effie grabs the screwdriver from Mance's boot while he's on the ground. He starts poking and basically bludgeoning Mance's forehead with his own screwdriver. Mance is already bloody. Now he's extremely bloody. What I mean by that is he went basically from red to more like a darker color blood on his face. It got to a point where his face was entirely dark. You sick fuck chants are coming from the crowd. Minute 16, we basically have a beautiful match going down. Adam Galt has Mance at the 8 count before he gets off the ground. Effie has Mance in a chokehold and continues to bludgeon him with that screwdriver. I can't tell the difference between Mance's forehead and nose because he's so bloody and he is leaking profusely. Minute 17, Adam has Mance at a 9, and Effie breaks Adam Galt's count to continue. Holy shit, I need a drink. And I don't drink. Effie's still using the screwdriver on Mance. Mance's blood is leaking down Effie's hands. Effie's completely possessed. It's all about hatred and payback at this point. He stands Mance up in the corner so he can't stay down. He's holding him up. He grabs a screwdriver and continues to stab Mance in the corner. Minute 18, Mance is leaking blood and Effie is drinking it as it drops from his forehead. The crowd is shocked. Effie goes to the backstage area and comes back with a gasoline can in his hand. Minute 19, Mance is standing in the corner. Effie beats him with the crutch. Effie then starts to pour gasoline all over Mance while he lays on the ground. Referee Perch is now in the ring, and so is Adam Galt. They're wanting to stop Effie from what he's doing. Effie pushes Adam Galt out of the way and continues to pour gasoline on Mance. Effie has a lighter in his pants, and he goes to light it in his hands. Both referees grab a hold of Effie and quickly pull him back. As he's being pulled back, you see Mance roll out of the ring and run to the back. Minute 20 to the finish. Effie's being held while he's yelling obscenities at Mance. Mance is breathing hard and completely covered in blood from his forehead all the way down to his boots. Effie breaks away from the referees and starts walking towards Mance. Mance went to the back and he can't be seen anymore by anyone. Fans were left confused until eventually the match was called as a no contest. The no contest to me is never a fan favorite, but I feel it served a greater purpose here because the next day, a video comes out from the locker room where they ended up after the match. Mance was in the back. Effie chases him into the back, tracking him down. The Garbage Daddies are holding back Effie as he's trying to get to Mance. Gald is holding back Mance. Cardona's in between both men. Jimmy's by Cardona's side. Effie says he wants no friends, no running. He wants Mance in a cage at the Cage of Survival in Atlantic City. Mance agrees if Effie doesn't lay hands on Mance until the match. Cardona approves the match with the prerequisite stipulation. So it's now official. We have Mance versus Effie in a cage at Cage of Survival on June 2nd. God damn, these boys are good. What are you thinking?
I love that video package to kind of show the setup of Cage of Survival. That was a cool little behind the scenes moment that we don't get quite often in GCW. And I thought that was really good and a real good and easy way to kind of progress the feud to Cage of Survival. I know a couple weeks ago we said Cage of Survival seemed kind of like the most probable spot that this feud would end. I thought it would happen a different way, but I'm ultimately glad to see these two go at it at Cage of Survival and finally possibly put a few rest of the feud. Who knows? Because they just might find another match type to go and keep it going and going. Because it's just I don't understand. After the second match, I didn't understand how they could top it, and they've just topped it now every single time afterwards. And yes, great one. Just said exactly where I was about to go here. My one note that I really took on this match was even the spot with Mance Warner throwing the weapons into the ring onto everything on this match felt, because this is the second time it happened in Tampa, just reversed. And I'm glad you caught that because I did too. And I wanted to make a note of that. And I like it. You switch it up, and even something simple like that, you add some life to add some more life to the feud and keep it going. And yeah, this was a bloodbath. This was like one of those I think months ago before they even started feud, and we asked, like, we want just the old GCW back, and this is what it felt like. This is just two people fighting for control of GCW.
Bingo.
And as violent as it is, without getting necessarily using glass or doing quote unquote death matches, I have been enjoying every piece of this feud, and it just gets better and better as it goes.
The bell sound. Ding. I'm sorry, but yeah, I hope younger folks are paying attention, because this is the art of storytelling and how you can have 7, 6, 5 matches in a row, and each one of them are fresh in different ways. So yeah, take notes, because this is the art of storytelling, keeping things absolutely fresh.
Not bad.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
I don't know. I thought you were going to bring up a video on something. I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, I was looking when you were talking about that. I was trying to see if I could find that backstage video, but I think it's on Twitter, and I don't want to hop on their Twitter and show it just in case, because I know we got the okay for YouTube, but be nice to say, go check out the Twitter if you want to see it on Game Changer Wrestling. It's something that we don't see quite often, a little behind the scenes footage, and I think it was a cool little angle that was 2 minutes long, but was something different from GCW, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I think Brett's cool with it. It's promotional. You know what I mean? He was saying, as long as it's promotional, we're good. Can't show a whole pay-per-view, but you know, damn. Oh, that would be a whole other show, my man. If we could sit here and just power through shows and just talk about them. Ooh.
That's going to be the history of GCW.
One day.
We got to branch off here. No. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. You hit it perfectly. Very violent, good storytelling throughout the match, and I picked up on a lot of the little details as the Great One did, and as you did on your notes, just of little pieces here and there that made this feel a little bit different compared to the last few matches. And I'm excited for Cage of Survival now, to be honest with you. I think that's going to be a spectacle for sure.
Dude. Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic time. And thanks for everyone to stick with me during story hour. It's always fun to do that.
All right. Should we move on to the Wrld on Lucha? Is there anything else you want to say about rather you than me?
We have a main event still. We have
Oh
the
my God,
GCW World
Jesus.
Championship.
I erased it on my notes, and then I was like, okay. And then I looked down, and I'm like, oh, we're done. And they're like, nope, undo.
Bro,
There they are.
it's midnight. There's only there's a lot of people watching, so no big
Oh
deal.
my
We're
goodness.
total professionals here. Yeah, our GCW World Championship, our main event, Blake Christian with Missy Hyatt versus Danhausen. Who wants to go first on this main event? This was fun.
I loved it all. I obviously at the end I almost flipped my shit when Danhausen won. I was actually like stood up and like I did like the Undertaker, like when the Undertaker lost, that one guy who stood up with his eyes wide open and like,
And
are
you're
you
like,
kidding
what?
me? That was
Yeah.
my reaction. I'm like, really, Danhausen? But the pop was phenomenal. The match was good. This I wrote in this one, the Danhausen. This is what the Danhausen I think AEW has been missing. Let him go in the ring, give him time. Doesn't always have to be the comedy spot, Danhausen. You just give him time to actually wrestle. Same thing with Blake being the opponent. I thought it just lended further value to Danhausen as a face, especially with the reaction that he got. Yeah, great one. Yeah, Blake versus Danhausen following that was probably not fun for either one of them. And I was actually kind of surprised too on that one. I thought they would just end with Manson F.
I would have flipped him.
Yeah,
I would have flipped them. I would have had Blake and Danhausen go first and then let Effie and Mance tear the house down. However, since it went to a no contest and the match ended with both men not even in the ring, I see that portion too. Then the swerve at the end with Blake and Danhausen, I feel like that was the main event, was the fact that, hey, we now have a GM and he's dirty as hell.
Yep. That's exactly where I was going to go there. I first, and I'm the one who complained. Why is Blake not main eventing ever? Why is Blake not main eventing ever? And then this one, I was like, no, he shouldn't have main evented just because of, I've always said too, the story's big enough. The world title match doesn't always have to be the main event, but I think what I kind of didn't even add the part that this was to set up just to show you how much GCW is going to be different right now with Cardona being general manager. And I think that's a better way to obviously end this show other than a no contest because of the gas can in the fire. But yeah, when Danhausen won, I was shocked. I was about ready to, I typed some things I wasn't too proud of. And then I heard Cardona and I was like, oh, thank God. I've never been so happy to hear Cardona's voice. Cause
really,
yeah, I mean, I just don't want. I don't mind. I enjoyed this version of Danhausen. Let him wrestle. Let him not do the comedy spot 24/7.
yes.
Let him do the evil character that got him over in the real first place. Not cartoonize him, and just let him go. And I think like that's a lot of people don't kind of shy off Danhausen too because he wasn't like they haven't showcased him wrestling a lot, but he's actually a really good wrestler, and I like him outside of AEW wrestling. On the other independent scenes because he actually gets time to showcase his wrestling skills, which I think is really good. I just, me, I want somebody who we're going to see, who we have seen week after week, build a story up. I don't like these outsiders coming in and even getting these title shots unless they're a giant name. Danhausen, I guess, was a big enough name to do so. And the crowd definitely furthered Brett's point of making him a main event to going against Blake because that crowd popped. And I was kind of shocked about how loud the crowd popped. But I'll be a little bit honest here. I think you could have done that with anybody other than anybody that's going to beat Blake is going to get that pop, I think. So I don't want to discredit Danhausen there, but it was a cool visual. It was cool for maybe 2 minutes of, okay, what's Danhausen going to be as champion in GCW? But I'm glad Cardona was able to use his contractually gifted powers given to him as general manager and wrong this right in my heart, especially after Blake, because then that would have also ruined our streak of having good luck with wrestlers being on our show and moving on to bigger and better things. Blake would have been the first one that takes the L after being on our show. So we got to keep that streak alive going as well.
Wow. Yeah, there's some wild stuff that went on in this match. I'm going to get to that finish once we get here. I'll repeat myself for the last time. Another awesome video package. I don't know if they've given them a little extra money or if they're letting them get a little fresh air in between jobs, but whatever it's doing, it's definitely working. Blake was out first. He's mocking Danhausen by cursing everyone. Danhausen, to me, is a very welcome sight in GCW. His personality really shines. There were Danhausen chants from the crowd. The patented AEW cupping is apparent all over. He's got the AEW cups that all the AEW wrestlers have, strictly just the AEW wrestlers have. I'm right there with you. I love the curse of Danhausen. It is so much fun when they kick the training wheels off of him. AEW's done him a disservice, and it's not going to be the first time they've taken someone serious and turned him into a fucking joke. Emil's announcing with a 4-foot circle of half-dried blood staining the canvas openly as he's talking. Blake outside the ring cursing more people. The ending of the story, basically, the ending is the story of this match. Danhausen gives Blake a mouthful of teeth. Danhausen covers, only gets 2. Blake reverses Danhausen's finisher. Missy throws in her Gucci purse in the ring. Danhausen hits Blake with it and covers for 3. Danhausen wins. Fans then rush to the ring, slam the mat. All I hear are screams. I popped hard, but out comes Cardona and Jimmy. He says he's not going to have the Tampa screw job on his first night as GM. He doesn't want any foreign objects. He wants a new winner, fair and square. So restart the match. Danhausen turns around. Blake hits Danhausen with the Gucci bag while Perch wasn't looking. And Blake covers for 3. And I was a little pissed, but at the same time I was confused, because I feel like if there was going to be a title change, I would have known, and nothing. So when Danhausen won, I was like, Blake, you motherfucker, did you not tell me something that, you know what I mean? And then this all happened like this, and I'm like, genius. It's genius. It's the old Dusty finish, the son of a bitch. You know, he kind of pulled that on us, and the historians appreciate it.
And that is a Cardona special there too. That just has Cardona written all over it. I loved it too. Like I lost my mind. I was like, Danhausen is our champion. What is this going to do? What's going to happen? And I'll be honest, I actually did think it was going to happen. So that's why I lifted up here, because I know your next note is one I literally just wrote down and I didn't see it until just now. That I don't know if I don't want to steal it. You can say it too, because I didn't see that you had it, but I agree with what you have written there.
Oh, yeah. Great sells by Lenny Leonard, Dave Prazak, and Emil especially. They did a damn good job, especially within those moments. Dave was selling the shit out of Danhausen winning. I mean, he really took it up to a 10, and he made everything sound good. I was hook, line, and sinker. I was stunned, like I said, but hook, line, and sinker, they had me, and then shit turned, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. It was very, very, very well done.
That's the note I wrote here. Like I said, I did not see your note. It was down low, and then like you deleted it and just popped up. I'm like, oh my God, I just wrote that. I wrote Prazak and Lenny sold the win very well. Like it had me convinced, like, oh my God, this is it. This is our reality here. But like I said, hearing Cardona's voice, I've never been so happy before in my life. I like this call because I didn't notice that. And this is the shit that I love to see. And I wish I would have known this, because I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But great one said that, yeah, Florida was Dusty Rhodes country. So, of course, we would get the Dusty finish. I didn't know Florida was really Dusty Rhodes country. So that one was on me. But even now knowing that makes sense. I love it. And now that even makes more sense knowing Cardona and everything that he does like I said, even though he's not wrestling, I'm very interested in what he could provide to GCW outside of the ring as a general manager, doing these little things, catching these little notes here and there that maybe Brett or the rest of GCW might not catch up on. Like that is something like that seems to me like that's Cardona saying, hey, we're in Florida. Let's do some sort of finish kind of like this. Or maybe that's even Effie and Mance doing that. Not want to give all the credit to Cardona, but being the general manager kind of thing. I didn't know that Florida was Dusty country, so I thought I learned something new here. I guess I should have known. Georgia being a little bit closer to Florida. Yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, man. You ever watch some old Dusty? Dude had a swagger to him that you just can't. Go watch some of those old promos. Like no one can get his, I'm trying to think of the word for it, but no one can get his,
cadence and stuff.
Cadence. God, what a great, that's the best word. No one could copy his cadence.
Yeah,
they could get the lisp a little, but they couldn't get the timing. His timing was so good, and his curvature of his words were just amazing. So Yeah, a dusty finish. That's what I felt like we got here. And then when I remembered we were in Tampa, I'm like, yeah, Cardona's a historian. So I really do appreciate it. I think here that this is a situation where Matt Cardona is going to have to rely a little more than usual on his creativity. And Matt has enough time to kind of boil on what he's going to do. He's got a good mouth on him. Of course, when you break a left arm, the right arm's going to get stronger. This is going to do something for him. And I feel like this could be a blessing for GCW. We never know. What if a GM in GCW becomes quite a popular thing? I don't know.
I always like having like authority figures and stuff like that because it kind of lets like it makes sense of, oh, like who's booking this then? It's not just randomized. It's kind of like there's someone in charge. I always love the authority figures. Like, so I'm happy if Cardona stays it, I'm going to be happy. But even if he leaves, like I think I've kind of mentioned it before, I wouldn't mind seeing like Nick Gage kind of fill in that role back when I thought he was kind of like really close to being done, where now it's not even close. So I wouldn't mind seeing different kind of people doing that, especially if Brett's not going to be out there in front of the camera kind of doing that. And it just makes sense to me that someone's in charge at the show that's making the matches and kind of can change stuff on the fly if shit goes haywire. And for me, booking wise, wrestling, I enjoy the authority figure in my wrestling.
Yeah, I'm big on it too. I think this it might be a couple groans at the end of the night here or there, but overall, I think it could end with a huge beatdown on Cardona. So we'll see what happens there, but I can guarantee right now, when he does come back to the ring, his entrance is going to be godlike. I know that's maybe a bad word to put it, but his entrance is going to be grandiose. Yeah. I feel, you give him enough time to think, boy, this is the guy that came out in the Ecto 1. Give him, you give him a couple months to think and heal and feel good. He's going to come back stronger. This is what happens with most motivated wrestlers. They're going to come back stronger and better. And generally the pencil's going to be sharper. So hope for the best there.
All right. That this time will do it for GCW. Rather you than me. I can now delete that note and I don't have to undo it again. But yeah. That was a great Friday night show. I actually I know I said it earlier, like this card was just so stacked. And I think for me, that's how I know it's been a good card, where I feel like I've watched all the wrestling everything. I've went through all the emotions. And then all of a sudden intermission comes up. I'm like, intermission? Like we're only an hour and a half in and we've had all these matches. Like I feel like I'm spent already going through it. But this was one of those nights that I could enjoy and appreciate for how deep it was. And once again, another A show in Tampa, Florida for GCW.
Yeah, Gringo Loco's Wrld on Lucha. My first note is we could use a couple extra Gringo Loco shows out west where Lucha has huge support. I think that, now it's maybe filled up with Phoenix or Salt Lake City on that second day. But if you're in LA for a weekend, why not make a second show on the next day? Maybe give us an early Sunday show. Not against it whatsoever. Bring a Gringo Loco show. And I would say if there wasn't a second city to go to on those LA weekends, maybe it's time to start polishing off something like that. Have Gringo Loco show, have someone else's show, just make it a nice little feature. We don't have, what was it? There was JCW and what was on the West Coast? Do you remember what the name was? LA Fights. Yeah. Something like LA Fights, but with less locals.
Yeah,
I don't have a better way to put it, but yeah, I just see how big Lucha is, and I'm really like, I love my Lucha, so I just wanted to kind of throw it out there. I do think it would be cool to have a couple of those focused on the West Coast where Lucha is wrestling.
All right. Before we hop onto this Wrld on Lucha, I do have another video ready. It's a quick 1 minute,
Sweet.
1.5 minutes. So here we go. Oops. There we go.
Ten toes, got my roots strong. Still trapping, got a new phone. Fast habit, so I speak code. New friends, I don't need those. Cause they talking on the gang, they jealous. Now my brothers all got feelings. I'm a kiddies, rest no sympathy. You a chopper singing symphony. I don't know what's be the streets of the industry. Took out my mama some Tiffany's. I do this shit for my family. Big money, gotta stack it tall. Bigger choppers, I can never fall. Sneak this what we don't do though. Still shameless, I can never fall. Me and Jacob got rest soul. I'm so tired of these dead toes. Lost 10 homies before 24. Now I'm 28, shit it getting old. Why they wanna put me in the federal? They should lock up farmer for the fentanyl. No, please shake, don't speak facts. All the target bigger, put it on my toes. Got my roots strong. Still trapping, got a new phone. Fast habit, so I speak code. New friends, I don't need those. Cause they talking on the gang, they jealous. Now my brothers all got feelings. I'm a kiddie's ass, no sympathy. You my chopper singing Santos. Got my roots strong. Still trapping, got a new phone. Fast habit, so I speak code. New friends, I don't need those. Cause they talking on the gang, they jealous. Now my brothers all got feelings. I'm a kiddie's ass, no sympathy. You my chopper singing symphony.
All right, that is another fantastic video from GCW's production on YouTube. And yeah, GCW's World on Lucha comes to us from the White Eagle Hall in Jersey City. I love that venue just because the whole JCW tournament. And it looked really good too for the World on Lucha. And it starts off with a scramble match, which I think was kind of a surprise and unexpected, as the competitors were Broski, Jimmy Lloyd, Alec Price, Ariel Van Gogh, Bobby Flacco, Jordan Oliver, and Azriel. And yeah, like I said, I was like kind of shocked to see this on, and I was happy to see it. And I'll let you go over with the first.
All right. Well, I'll give everybody a heads up. My wife and son are just getting home. So if you hear any barking in the background, like I said, this is our professionalism. So, all right. Unannounced scrambles are the best. Jimmy grabs Mike pre-match, calls Lucha a bunch of spot monkeys, and said he's the only superstar in this match. Jimmy changes the name of the show to The World on Sports Entertainment. Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Hurricane Run is all around, topes by all. That move by Price on Flacco, very dangerous. That's a broken neck waiting to happen if it's done wrong. If you know what I'm talking about, fine. If you don't, just go watch the match. There's like a catapult type thing. It could go bad if someone's not really paying attention. I love Ariel Van Gogh. He delivers. We talked about this in the first show. Jordan with an acid bomb on Bobby Flacco for the win. There was a video package with highlights from Rather You Than Me. Matt Cardona was invoking that clause, so they went through that. But yeah, in a very quick 6-minute, 6-way scramble. And just a surprise, more or less than anything. What do you think on this one?
Yeah, I wrote the scramble. It was a fun opener. That double moonsault by Ariel Van Gogh was crazy. This one, I kind of don't want to say this, but I got to keep it honest. I got to keep it real like we always do here. I love Nick Knowledge on commentary. His knowledge and what he brings to the table is really, really good. But I think he kind of lacks some of the excitement and stuff that I miss. And I'm going to mention his name again. Just like I said, Cardona mentioned it. I don't care if I get backlash, but this is a spot where I miss KG. Like the double moonsault happened and Nick Knowledge goes like, oh, he did double moonsault. Like Veda at least kind of lost her shit, but that's a move you got to lose your mind on. Get the excitement going. Get the crowd at home like to realize what you just saw. A freaking double moonsault in a match. So I just wish Nick Knowledge would have a little bit more excitement in his voice when announcing. But I do love everything that he brings to the table outside of that. I was glad to see Jordan, of course, get the win and yet another big victory for him since his comeback. Once again, I wrote, give me Jordan versus Blake. But this one's a little bit more surprising to me because of the whole Broski Cardona thing and Jimmy. I thought maybe they would start to get him a little win, especially with all the names in this match. I thought Jimmy was going to pick up the win. So I was pleasantly surprised and happy to see Jordan get the win. And yeah, it was a good, fun opener here. Sorry, I'm reading great ones. I
got thrown off because my wife came in just to say goodnight. So I was like, So if you see who that mysterious lady was, that is my wife. That's Turtle. So you'll see her online all the time. She does all the pictures. So yeah,
and I like to see the wrestlers starting to use the pictures that she uses on a lot of their stuff. I'm starting to see that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she that's her thing. So when someone uses it, she feels very proud of her work. So I'm very happy when she's happy.
Happy wife, happy life.
Not gonna lie, it works.
I agree with you. Great one. We kind of noticed it too, Jimmy. I was going to kind of mention it too. Jimmy's promos are like he's getting actually really good at it. Not surprising as
Mhm.
a former quote unquote child actor and memorizing lines and stuff. But like his mannerisms, his timing, his reactions to the crowd is kind of feeling Cardona-ish, and he's definitely getting into the broski vibe here as Broski Jimmy.
Oh,
And
thank you, Michael Young. Shout out to photos. That's cool. Thank you so much.
shout out to those
Michael's
photos.
awesome. Actually, I was going to tell you, he ended up buying an Orange Crush, like the book from Orange Crush Art.
The
And
visitors.
yeah, and so I will be getting a copy in a couple weeks.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm super thankful. I'm gonna be showing this thing off when I get a chance. But I mean,
I'm
it
about to
was
say,
just
yeah,
a
I want to
straight up
check that out. It looks
gift.
cool.
Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, we'll be checking it out. Then I'll get some pictures and stuff and say thank you too, because that is really cool. All right. Did you announce this next match? Like I said, I'm squirreling into.
Nope. You
I'll
can do
give
your
it to
note
you
there
then.
if you want.
I was gonna. Okay, so that's what I will say then. We are gonna go from a fun match in match 1 to a serious match in match 2.
And this fits the perfect match 2 role that you always love of setting kind of the tone right after the opening match. And sorry, another one came up. And yeah, I was excited for it. And this was a very good match as the JCW World Champion Masha Slamovitz defends against Dulce Tormenta. I thought this was another very good defense for Masha. I'm kind of want to see a little bit more, a little bit kind of see what's going to happen with the JCW title, if she's just going to face these random opponents again. I just want titles to be earned and title shots and defenses to be earned. So that's my one little on it. But Dulce definitely stepped up, definitely looked like she earned the title shot. And this was a very, very, very good match that I haven't seen Dulce Tormenta, I think maybe once or twice on like one of the Triple Mania shows. I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen of her and heard of her before, and I didn't really know what to expect. But this match with Masha was awesome. Like it felt like a title match, and I definitely was not expecting it. Not being too familiar with Dulce, and I'll probably piggyback on what you said because I know I saw you say it online to bring Dulce back. She definitely earned it. After seeing this weekend, I now want to see Dulce versus Megan Bain. I think that would just be a fun
Ooh.
matchup. Those two now.
Well, even her with Allie right now would be quite interesting because that would make Allie really pick up that wrestling game even more. Like Dulce seems to be one of those people that kind of helps them, real. I don't know how, but it works. So I'll go ahead and get into my notes because I do have a little bit more here. Masha 2 belts. She had her TNA belt with her. I thought that was really cool to see. I say Dulce because I'm not very good with Dulce or not. I don't know. So I'll say Dulce just because I think of like Dulce de Leche or whatever. Dulce Tormenta, Sweet Torment, 26 years old, 9 years in ring, out of El Paso, Texas. Debuted April 1st, 2023 on Gringo Locos World on Lucha. She was the Crash Femenil champion for 182 days. Impressively, she's had less than 100 matches. Masha was rough on her. Dulce was rough back. I thought it was very well done. The first half of the match was for Masha. Dulce had the second half of the match. Masha still pulls out the win in almost 16 minutes here. This was an excellent title defense. Wrestling was the focus. Both delivered in that aspect. I would love to see Dulce again, and I say it because I'm just completely obsessed with it. I think GCW has some of the best number 2 matches on their card than most do. They really do respect that number 2 position, and there's always a banger right after match number 1. And sometimes I know most wrestlers classically would never want to be match number 2, and here I feel like match number 2 can just make as big a statement as match number 1.
Yeah, and this, I think when you wrote hard hitting, that clicked in my mind. I think that's why I like this match so much. They were just going at it and going crazy in the ring. Like I loved it, and like that's a perfect to Masha style. It's just hard hitting, go, kind of never slow down kind of match. And Dulce definitely killed it with Masha here. It wasn't AAA. I said AAA. I kind of went back and looked. I knew it was a match against Lady Frost. It was in West Coast Pro that I saw Dulce in. So that I have to go back and fix that one. I don't know why I was thinking AAA, but no, I remember against Lady Frost because I thought that was actually really good match from both of them. Yeah, good title defense from Masha, and that will lead us into our third matchup of the evening, as it is Mascarita Dorada going against Joey Janela. I prefer a heel version of Joey, and that's what we've kind of gotten these last 2 days or 2 shows, and I kind of glad. I think that's where Joey excels at. It gets the most, gets the best out of him. And him throwing Dorada was fun. That was a fun spot during this match. And yeah, I
little
I
people tossing.
I love this match because Joey as a heel, I think he just was presented, and he does so much more for their opponent too as a heel, with how he sells the moves and how he kind of tells the story of the match pacing going back and forth. So Mascarita Dorada though was a very impressive. I didn't even know until they mentioned like he was the one that was in the match with Hornswoggle.
Yeah,
WLC. I had no idea that was him. So
WLC.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So yeah, once I found that, I was like, oh shit. And then like, yeah, Dorada could go. I want to see Dorada, Microman, Pero. Let's get them all in the ring. Let's have just one big clusterfuck number 2 Lucha style.
Ooh. All right, so I'll start here with Mascarita Dorada, 42 years old, 24 years in ring from Veracruz, Mexico, aka El Torito in the WWE, standing 4'5". This was his GCW debut. He's a 6-time champion. The longest title reign was the Mexican National Mini Champion for 909 days. His average title reign is 452 days. He's had 526 recorded matches and won 76% of them. His current career is 403, 120, and 3. Both here had a badass match. I just say go watch it. You know, Joey, this is awesome. And GCW chants from the crowd. We had nipple biting. The match kind of went over, well, I wouldn't say quickly, but it felt quick because it was just so entertaining. This was a 12-minute match that Mascarita ended up winning here. After that match, Joey grabs a microphone and wishes everyone a happy Cinco de Mayo. He gives a huge credit to Dorada for his career. I'll stop here, but out comes Damus and starts beating on Dorada. I'll stop right there because I don't want to go any further. What are you thinking about this match? You're muted, son.
I think we used all our good stuff on the Wrestle Dad yesterday. We're a little off today.
Oh no, yeah. It's what happens. We're good for like 2-3 hours. You know what I mean? And
for the week, not for a day.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Which match did you were you saying the Joey Dorada or Damus Cole?
Yeah, so what I was going to do was just mention here that Mascarita won, and then out came Cole after Damus. He basically came off the top rope here, and then it just kind of bounced us into our next match. So I didn't know where you wanted to kind of kick in anything else so that I didn't push you into the next match kind of thing.
No, you're good. So I like the Joey. Yeah, you said it. It felt quicker than what it actually was. It went longer than kind of what it felt like, but I think in a good way. And that's just a typical Joey match to stretch out and do all the spots. But how they did it for like the longest time. It seemed like once a card, we'd have just a match roll right into the next match without any ring introductions or pausing or intermissions or stuff like that. And I enjoyed Demi's run-in for this match and how I thought it was well done. And this is where I think Nick Knowledge excels. He laid out the whole Damus versus Mascarita Dorada feud, and I had no idea about it. And when Damus came out, I'm like, okay, who's this crazy guy? And then Nick Knowledge laid out the feud and how they've had kind of like a blood feud going on for years. And that's where Nick Knowledge was awesome. And I was so glad he mentioned all that because I'm like, that makes sense. This is cool. And it kind of makes sense to the ending of this match as well, how they're just not stopping each other. But Demis Cole, I enjoyed the violence, and I don't want to go yet because I kind of just wrote enjoyed all the violence in this match, and I got all the rest of my notes are after what happened after the match.
Okay, well then I'll kind of lead us up into that right there. So Cole Radrick, who's GCW's beloved badass, started cleaning house as they battled outside the ring. Cole Radrick's my favorite wrestler, ended up being a chant 3 separate times from fans. I really do think Cole Radrick's coming up in popularity. I think that brass ring win really did, elevate him to a point to where I feel he's quite fine being. A lot of people, you elevate him, they might be a little out of their element. It seems like Cole is right there and the fans are right there with him. I'll give you a little information on Demus. 43 years old, 27 years in ring. He's standing at 5'3". He was first seen on the Zona 23 GCW show from October 16, 2022. He was the CMLL World Mini Australia champion for 250 days. And I'm not going to lie, I just got to say it. If you look at him, he reminds me of a mini Schlack. So nobody killed me out there. But when I squinted my eyes, I swore that's what I saw was little El Schlacko. There were 2 straight matches of nipple biting. What's up, Lucha? Oh no. Then he bit holes in Cole's ass. This guy can't take that much, Lucha, honestly. He brings Cole in the ring and continues biting, and now he's punching him in the ass. Demus was in referee Perch's face at one point, which really pissed off the crowd. Beat his ass chants coming from the crowd. I think that's because the crowds know Perch won't take shit if you push him far enough.
After the LA show, definitely that way. But you also hear Veda on commentary. He's like, you better not lay a hand on our dear Perch, or else I will have to get up out of this table and go into the ring myself. Like, I loved Veda coming to Perch's defense here too. And yeah, that is our beloved Perch. Nobody better lay a finger on Perch, even Demus.
Let's see here. Where am I at on here? So yeah, Dorada came out by surprise and beat the shit out of Demus at one point. Cole back with a springboard and Little Sebastian's curse 4-3. This was an 11.5-minute match, a very fun and busy match. Everything about it was just good. It's another one where I love when one match flows into another seamlessly, because I like when there's sometimes no break. Something about the beauty in just one gust of wind, I think, is maybe the way to put it. So yeah, I'll stop there and let you do what you need to say, or do you want me to go further? You see my notes there. So
yeah, so I just wrote that I love Dorada coming back out and costing Demus the match, playing into the feud that, like I was saying before, Nick mentioned when Demus came out. And I know, like I said, I want a little bit more excitement from Nick, but this is where he does a great job, and I'm thankful for him in this spot to catch me up, because I wouldn't have given 2 shits about that spot. I'm like, why did they come out? What is going on here? Why are these 2 fighting? But him laying it out made me appreciate that and understand it a little bit more. And another win for Cole. And yeah, I wonder if Cole's brass ring win is going to elevate him to something else, because I think it did reset him, kind of give him the momentum that I was kind of saying that it seemed like they were not getting as the Garbage Daddies when they first started, but they're definitely getting it now, picking up wins and as trios, as tag teams, and Cole with this singles match. So it is nice seeing the Garbage Daddies get their records back to where I think it should be, being on the winning side and building momentum up to hopefully bigger and better things in GCW coming up here in 2024.
All right, so here's my note. Wow, a 15-minute intermission. It's very rare to see in GCW, so I'm going to go back to the talk I always like to say. Why don't you replay a match or 2? You pick, make some new fans, show old Lucha matches, give us a banger for someone who's getting ready to come up on our card for the night, introduce us to them. Airtime is expensive. You need to use it to its fullest. Wasting airtime is so indie. Imagine having a show based on adrenaline and you slow it down to a halt midway. There are many new faces for newer fans. It's a great way for you to introduce them to us. You can fall in love with a lot of the GCW talent in one match. Their personalities are that big. Give us 1 or 2 matches. I feel like it's better than nothing. And my second idea, you want to have fun? Grab a microphone live and go talk to the fans for 15 minutes. This show is for the fans. Don't be afraid to go live and show everybody the party on the floor. People will say wild shit. Let's all laugh together. So I'll go ahead and leave that there. If you want to say anything about that, anything?
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
didn't make any notes on it, but as it happened, I thought the same thing. Why are you not showing an old World on Lucha match right now? Especially with all these names coming up, show an Arez match, show a Gringo match, show Speedball. So like show something in that 15 minutes with your giant library to get us excited for what's about to come, or show us like, hey, if you missed in years past, give us like a video to highlight the Lucha matches, and you could go check out all the old World on Luchas from years past for on Triller TV for whatever it is, $7.99, $9.99 now. I don't know, but do something to engage the fan stuff, because that 15 minutes, I luckily I always watch it on delay, so I'm just able to fast forward it. But yeah, watching it live, it's just like exactly great one. Like that's what that's where we're going. Is they used to show matches all the time there. Like that's how I kind of found out where to go find one of the like trios or one of the scramble matches with like Teddy Hart and like just other names. I was like, oh shit, Teddy Hart wrestled in GCW like back then. Let me go back and rewatch, go back even further in the library to catch up on some cool stuff that I missed. And yeah, I don't know why they stopped. We don't know either. There gotta be some reason or another, but especially if you're doing a 15-minute break where you know for sure it's going to be 15 minutes, one quick little match. I think that's where like Wrestling Revolver does a really good job. They're always during their intermission showing an old past match and stuff like that. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would have been a little video or something to hype us up instead of just 15 minutes of nothing.
I'm just saying that's half of half an hour. Don't make me
Yeah.
stare at a screen for half of half an hour. I've already said it before. You can only do so much. I mean, one bong hits a couple minutes. You got to go to the bathrooms, fixing something to eat can be 5-10 minutes. But, you know, there's some of us who don't maybe have any family or friends to talk to. And it's 1 in the morning sometimes that we're finally catching the show. And that 15-minute break can kind of, like I said, stop the action. And I still stick by it. You know, wasting airtime is definitely so indie that hopefully something happens here. And I have to say it, and I will say it when Brett comes on, because it's such a big thing. Fans want something to watch. Give it to them. Come on, man. Give me something. Show me an old Tournament of Death, freaking something. Just something. I said Tournament of Death.
Or even
Anyway.
like give us the package, like instead of just the one screen and the countdown, and then have to like sometimes the countdown's wrong and whatever, that's going to happen. That's indie too. But like even I think when what's his name came Vikingo, when he started debuting during like the 15-minute intermissions, you would see like the graphics of, hey, we're going to be in LA, Vikingo, catch him, first time ever wrestling in US independent wrestling. And then hey, here's next week's card with the big main event. Like do something to kind of get the fans to look forward to. And yeah, like I don't complain about it too much because I always never watch it live. So I'm able, okay, 15 minutes, fast forward, and just keep. Yes, thank you. I that's what I'm saying too. Great one is like they back in that was like one that always sticks in my mind is that match right there. They would even on the second match, they replayed what happened in the first match. The third match, they replayed what happened in the second match. They just show everything that gets you hyped about for what's coming. And yeah, the Jimmy Lloyd G Raver, that's the one thing I always think of the most, because when I first started getting into GCW wrestling, I think one of the first shows I watched without any knowledge of the history was the Jimmy Lloyd and G Raver, that glass ceiling match, because it was Jordan's first, I think that was his first chance to wrestle Nick Gage for the GCW World title belt. So I had no really history. I just want to see, oh, Jordan, I want to see how he did in this title match. But when I got to the Jimmy Lloyd G Raver, I was like, okay, glass ceiling. And then the video package showed all the violence and all the spots and shit that made me like go, oh my God, this is going to be crazy, and go back and check it out. So I do think I agree with you, John. They are dropping the ball there, and they could be doing a lot of fun stuff like that.
Yeah, nothing negative. I just feel like it's a simple adjustment. Just pick a match, hit a button or two. Shouldn't be too difficult. It beats the shit out of just a single screen. So
I agree with this one only if they show the Cardona and Sean's 2 cents video nonstop.
I still think it would be awesome to take 15 minutes to go down and talk to the fans in the front row. I'm dead serious. Do you know how many colorful people are in the front rows at all of these shows? You know how much fun it would be that you're at AC and you see Skittle for the 8th time, or you see some of these people for the 8th or 9th, you know, Dewey's in there like just talking half high. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what's fun. And from the East Coast to the West Coast, dude, all of us fans are tight. We all talk with each other. It'd be funnier than shit to see some of us say something stupid on the air and we all laugh about it, because that's what this is all about. Brett, I think, originally wanted a party atmosphere. He wanted a punk atmosphere. Bring the party to the floor, because that's where we're all at. I mean, go around to GA, go talk to people. I think it would be fantastic, and a lot of dumb shit will be said, and that will be funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an idea. Yeah.
But it feels like they haven't done the intermissions in a while either, too. It seems like this is kind of like out of the ordinary for something we haven't seen in a while. But because I know that was something we used to kind of complain about all the time, but it feels like we haven't seen that in a while. So I will, as you're probably, give them a little break here, but just some ideas for what we want to see next time.
No, I'm just kidding. We'll give him a break. Hey, honestly, it's kind of a smaller show. It's, a couple, it's not a full 9-10 matches like GCW sometimes, you know what I mean? So it only makes sense to say, let's roll out to intermission. So yeah, nothing bad. It's just kind of funny. It triggered a memory in me where I just had to talk about it a little bit just in case. But yeah, those two ideas, from talking to the floor, just giving us some replays would be absolutely fan-centered.
All right. Our next matchup after intermission is Pimpinella Oh my God, I knew I'd mess this up. All right, how do you go say
Escarlata. Escar? Like, how Escar go? Yeah. Escarlata.
Yeah. Okay. I knew I'd mess one up too.
I also call them Pimpy.
But that's where I was going with too. That's all in my notes. It just says Pimpy. Or sometimes it just says Pimp, and I know to hopefully add the I. But it is Pimpy versus Effie, and this was everything I expected it to be. I'm glad it kind of had its place in this Lucha card. And I think this Wrld on Lucha card stayed true more to the GCW aspect of you're going to get different variations and different versions of your Lucha or what to expect on a Lucha card. It wasn't just strictly all Lucha, which I'm kind of glad to see, but we got to see like Damus, like a little bit more deathmatch version of Lucha, and Mascarita, a little bit more of the micro version of Lucha and stuff. So I am glad now with Pimpy versus Effie, we now get the Wrld on Lucha, the gay version of it. And I loved it. Effie killed it. Pimpy killed it. This was exactly what I wanted to see, expected to see, and it delivered. And I'm glad these two were able to have a moment on the Wrld on Lucha.
I wrote here in my notes, Pimpy in the building, attempting to kiss everyone in sight like Pepe Le Pew. Let me give you a couple little messages on Pimpy here. Pimpy is 55 years old, 35 years in ring. Their first GCW match was Effie's Big Gay Brunch on April 2nd, 2022. There are 6 titles to Pimpy's career. They're currently the RGR Exotico champion for 457 days and running. That is their longest title defense. The average title defense here is 270 days. Pimpy conjured music mid-match and started dancing, which I thought was absolutely magical. Effie played his part as he was part of the joke the whole time in a way to where they just wanted everybody to smile and laugh. And I think that's what came out of this match. I felt it was extremely entertaining coming back from the break. They always make us smile. It was a perfect match right before this next serious match. So I felt like this was a great way to get everybody back on the same page and to do it with a little bit of a smile.
Yep, that is perfect. That's what I was about to say. I think it was a perfect way to get the fans re-engaged with a smile and keep them happy heading into the rest of the card after this match. And yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth there. Next match is Galeno Del Mal versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Wow. This was another match I didn't really know what to expect. I expect speedball matches. I expect great speedball matches. Galeno Del Mal, I can't really tell you. I don't know any history of them. I don't want to. I'll let you do the notes first because some of my notes are very similar to yours. I don't want to step on your toes here, but one of the big ones is I think we'll have the same one as that dude is big. Whoa, I did
I
not
love
expect
it.
that. Yeah,
I'm a big body dude. I'm WWF, WWE, WCW, big body dude. I'm all over this guy. He's huge. So yeah, this was Galeno Del Mal's debut. Everything he did had impact. He's highly capable and young is the two things I described from him first.
Is that
Man,
right?
oh man. What's that?
His
22?
age? Yeah, I
Yeah.
just looked it up on Cage Match myself. Oh, whoa. Okay.
All right. So let's go ahead and go down Galeno Del Mal and catch everybody up. This is kind of a thing when we have new people on. I had some time, so we dug in a little bit here. Galeno, 22 years old, 5 years in ring, 6'5", 297 pounds, out of Mexico City, Mexico. Dr. Wagner is his grandpa. Dr. Wagner Jr. is his dad. His entire family are wrestlers, cousins, brothers, sisters. Like I said, he's got a WWE body. He's fundamentally sound for his age. He has 2 titles in his short career and is the current holder of the PCW Ultra Heavyweight Championship. His previous championship was the IWRG Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, which he held for 438 days. He's been in the semifinals for every tournament he's participated in. So there we go a little bit with Galeno. Dude is impressive. This was a true David versus Goliath situation. Bailey plays the role perfectly. He always gives us a show. They worked well together. There were GCW chants from the fans. This is awesome chants coming from the fans. Speedball, though, ultimately wins with the ultimate weapon. Fans run to the ring and they pound on the mat here. I cut the review short on this one only because I want you to go see it. The last thing I want to say, if there's anything that needs to be taken away with this, I want Galeno back. He's massive and talented. He's going to go a long way. Let's get him in our video library because it's only a matter of time before he's in the big leagues. Not gonna lie, 6'5", 300 pounds. I mean, they don't make them like that anymore. And especially that agile and fast. So I think he'd be great for our video library down the road.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I am going to piggyback off. I didn't know he was 22. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, wow, he's got a future. I was super impressed. I didn't know much about him, but I didn't know anything about him, not even much. I knew nothing about him other than like he kind of like looked a little bit familiar, but not. If he's 22, that wasn't who I was thinking of, but kind of reminded me of like a Judas Messias, if you remember from like Impact of Judas Messias. Yep. That's who I thought. That's why I was like, is that kind of him or is that like a relative or something? But yeah, the son of Dr. Wagner was surprising. I had no idea. And so, yeah, as they said there, he's definitely going to have the pedigree. You could tell, like, I thought he was a polished kind of veteran and just kind of getting a little break now, like his break in the US. But for 22 years old, that looking that good and kind of, he had a really good match with Speedball. It was awesome. It was hard hitting. I thought it was great stylistically for both of them. But I also think Speedball wrestled a really smart match and kind of made Galeno look like a monster of him trying to hit and move and then trying to outsmart the monster and stuff. So I think Speedball wrestled a little different match than we're used to seeing, but I thought it fit perfectly. And so the story that they told in this match, and I wrote again here, wow, this match was awesome. I didn't expect it, and I agree with you. Go check it out here. I'm even gonna go check it out now, watch it a second time now, knowing his age and see like all like how fluid, and it seems like he's got the wrestling smarts in him. So he has a future for sure. I agree with you. I know you tweeted it out before, but I would like to see him back and soon and often because he probably will go fast and he was that impressive where I want to see a lot more of him. All right. That's
all right. Main event, baby.
Will lead us to our main events of the evening, as it is the tag team match of teaming first is Jack Cartwheel and Aramis going against Los Desperados, Gringo and Arez. This
I'm so sorry, I'm a kid.
You gotta play the
sound,
the dark music. This the dun, 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 dun. Oh, it does make sound when you hit it. Yeah, I was really looking forward to this match, obviously, just to see the main event of World on Lucha. What craziness. Gringo and Arez are going to come up with this oh my goodness, excuse me, sorry, I got the hiccups there. What craziness they would come up with during this match to showcase the actual Lucha vibe, Lucha feeling, and everything else. And this match didn't disappoint. I didn't know too much of Aramis before, so him kind of seeing him for the first time was very fun, and I thought he belonged. And I think that just goes with, as you were saying, I don't know if it was on yesterday's show, which I think it was, or today's show, of Gringo's eye for talent and what he's able to bring in and who he brings in, relatively unknowns to GCW, to America. And they showcase the Lucha style with him, and they're now just become one of our favorites we want to see. So Aramis definitely delivered, teaming with Jack in this match. And yeah, even now seeing Los Desperados as a tag team, Desperados versus Arez and against Violence is forever. I'm for it. I want to see them strapped up somehow, some way.
Dude, Los Macizos versus Desperados would have been fire. Absolute fire. Yeah, well, you know what? You never know. Honestly, never say never. That even happens in GCW. Let's be honest. So it's all possible. Cartwheel and Aramis were great together. I love Aramis blue and green colors that match with the black. I'm a sucker for all that 80s stuff where, you know, like it's I don't even know how to name it. Gringo Loco and Ares are some of my new favorites in the tag division. There are so many good tag teams in GCW right now. Aerial attacks were the name of the game in this match. Veda Scott, they all can't be your favorite wrestlers. I don't remember who she was saying that to, but yes, they can, Veda. They can all be my favorite. I'm a sucker for that. There's very few that I don't necessarily look forward to. Doors and chairs enter the ring. There were 2 door bridges built. The collective innovation in this match was incredible. Just when you thought it was over, someone always kicked out. I love those kind of false finishes. This, again, back-to-back must-see matches. Dude, in Gringo, I trust. No lie, he's really killing it out there, and that's why I said bring a little more to the West Coast, because we will fund it. Not we, you and me, but the West Coast will gladly buy seats to the show.
I don't know. I might help fund if it helps Alrez get strapped up in Gringo Loca. I'll start helping out, chipping in a little bit there to see a little bit more of them. Whenever Gringo like just mid-match snaps and like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker, that's when I'm like, this match is about to be fun. This is about to have the fun part of the match is about to come up. Gringo's enjoying himself, he's feeling himself, and I kind of like feel the same way as I do with Gringo as I do with Joey. I think they just serve better as a heel, even though I know in Lucha it's kind of hard and we kind of maybe it's not even the heel. It's like when he went to his dark side and wrestled against Psycho Clown in that crazy match and was ripping off the mask. Like the deep, serious, like I'm gonna fucking murder this guy. Gringo Loco is the one that I think is the most dangerous and fun to watch. So yeah, they definitely delivered in this match. I'm glad they got them to main event and showcased a fun Lucha tag match, and everyone delivered in their own way. And I think throughout the whole night we saw a different version of Lucha. Each person there wasn't a lot of the same moves either. They varied up the move sets between matches. So I'm glad that we didn't kind of just see like a overload of just a bunch of Hurricane Ranas and people spinning and stuff like that. I enjoyed seeing all the different variety of Lucha wrestling that Gringo brought in for this show, and it was another fantastic show. I would be remiss too to also forget to mention, because I don't know if I maybe missed it on yours or not, MLJ's introductions in Spanish.
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't write it down, but it blew my freaking mind. I don't know how. See, here we go.
That's why I had to bring it up.
How long it took, bro, but it was time well spent. He's not going to lose that. He's only going to get better, and he just increased his resume and now made him more valuable across the world. So, gee, congratulations to him. Hard work pays.
Yeah, I had to bring that up because I know you brought it up before, and I don't remember hearing you say it, but maybe I just missed it. But I wanted to shout it out too, because that's impressive, MLJ. Like normally he just does it like Los Macizos matches, but like, and it's just like one entrance. He went the whole entrance perfectly, and I enjoyed it. It's give MLJ the spotlight too on the world of Lucha, and another fun card, another exciting card from the White Eagle Hall in Jersey. That venue just always seems to have banger shows after banger shows. That's another venue I wouldn't mind going back to sometime soon. Just not before Vegas again. God, so tired of Harpo's getting 4 shows and White Eagles on their show 3 and Tampa's on
The
show
Nile.
4 before we get it.
The Nile
Nile's
gets
getting
more
2
in 2
shows
months
before us.
than we get in 2 years.
That one
No.
I'll let that one slide. I'll let
Well,
our friends in Phoenix enjoy the Nile and they deserved it too. That crowd was awesome.
Amazing.
They had to go back. They had to go back soon after that turnout.
They earned it. They earned, hey, we're going to go right back here because they paid, they showed up, they made noise. It looked great on camera. Fantastic fans. I'm looking forward to going back down there again just because that place, they should call that place the Nut House. Like that place gets crazy loud down there. And it was more than I expected. It was like 30 to 40% more noise than I expected. Like to hear a wall of sound behind me was really cool. I did not expect that as much. Just looking at the building, I go, okay, less size, less noise. Bullshit. They let it ring, and then the ceiling and everything else there like helps bounce that sound really well. So, okay, so I was gonna maybe get into it towards the end of the show, but there is one nice thing about Las Vegas. We got WrestleMania next year, so I'm looking forward to that a lot.
I'm already saving up. I already told my wife, all right, I'm done. My birthday, anniversary, Christmas, whatever gift.
Wrap it up.
Just give me collective weekend. Let me go nuts. Let me cross a thing off my bucket list. Go to WrestleMania. That's where I think me and you're gonna have to get together with that. Because if you're going, I would like to. If we could all try to go, that'd be awesome.
I'll talking about that with you off air. It's gonna be exciting. My room is already. Somebody already asked. One of the wrestlers already asked for my room. So we're probably going to be going through all the shows, which will be amazing. And you're 7 minutes away, dude. That's no big deal.
And as the great one says, that we also get the collective and all the fuckery that's going to come there. I'm interested to see what venue they go to too, especially if they had a hard time kind of locking down Memorial Day weekend. I don't know what WrestleMania weekend is going to look like locking down a venue. So hopefully Brett is getting his contacts, the right contacts, on it this right now to get it all settled in for collective weekend. And it's going to be on a 420. That's even crazier. Easter weekend. 420 collective weekend out here in Vegas. I'm excited. That's been my biggest wish for the longest time, is having a WrestleMania come out here. I know I had it like when I was like 9 or something like that. WrestleMania 9 came out, so I was too young to even bother to worry about going to that one. But now, as an adult, going through my first collective in LA last year, I didn't even go to WrestleMania because it was too expensive, but I get to save a lot of money on hotels and not having to spend money on that stuff and travel and everything. So all that money will be well spent on merch and wrestling tickets collective weekend, and I'm excited for that.
Dude, it's going to be a fantastic time. I feel like this is our makeup, 10, 11, 12 shows over one weekend. I mean, I'm going to do what I can to see how much I can help, but I'm going to tell you right, I almost thought like it's going to be hard. If it's a Silver Nugget, that's 30 minutes from our house. Like that's a ways. And yeah, I actually thought about a hotel at one point, just staying up there if we're going to be busy, but it's all good.
Yeah, I was thinking of also like reaching out to any help that we could possibly do at any time throughout the whole weekend. I wouldn't mind being a helper instead of a watcher, and then I could just go watch WrestleMania or something. But
I'm sure people will probably, like I said, probably need some rides or whatnot, and you can just help out with as much as possible. So, that's what Great One is saying, because Great One here is also from Las Vegas. Hotel rates will be insane. If you can or are capable, get in on hotels now, because they will be booked out the minute that people see that WrestleMania is getting closer. By all means, don't find yourself in a situation where you can't find a hotel. Like I said, my room is already taken by a GCW. It's gone. So I mean, I'm down to couches now. We'll see what happens. I don't know how many people want to be on a couch though. So, but I have a king size bed here and a spare bedroom, so that's always like premium. And that's already it's booked 11 months out already. It's kind of cool. Okay, what else do I have here? Yeah, I was looking forward to that WrestleMania. Do you want to just go through the upcoming shows, even though they're about 2 weeks out, almost week and a half out? We don't have any shows next weekend, so
Yeah, we could do that. Oh, there's no shows this week on the 10th?
no. So that's something else. So there's no shows this weekend. So the good news is for GCW listeners is that when there's no show that weekend, that following show, we have nothing to talk about. So we generally try to have a guest on. We had Emil, we had Stackhouse, we've had Cole, we've had Alec Price, we've had Blake Christian. This next week, next Tuesday, a week from now, we're going to have, do you want to say it? Do you want me to say it? What do you want to? Jack Cartwheel. Jack Cartwheel is going to be on our show next week at this time. We're going to be sitting down with him. We're going to be talking, see everything he has to say. And you know how we are. We're going to talk about what his philosophy is in wrestling. And then we're going to see maybe what he likes to eat. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're really looking forward to that. We'll be pushing that all week. And we're hoping that everybody, same thing as this one, like almost 400 of us live in the middle of the night, just tuning in to talk. So yes, thank you so much for everybody. Jack Cartwheel next week. We're going to have him kicking off the show and we're going to hold on to him as long as we possibly can. He and we always try to seek each other out when we're at the live shows together. He tries to always scare the shit out of me. So this is going to be a real fun time. And he does not have the chance to scare me this time. So we're doing good there. So yeah, you want me to go over those upcoming shows, even though, like I said, it's a week and a half out, and just kind of announce what is available?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. All right. So Saturday, May 18th, GCW's Most Notorious 2024 from Harrah's Casino in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So far on this show, we're going to have appearances by Cheeseburger, Zilla Fatu, and there's a couple matches already announced. We have the Legion of Rot versus Main Event, Nick Gage versus Tony Deppen, Mance Warner versus Marcus Mathers, Joey Janela versus Megan Bain, and SDL versus Tasha Steelz. That's a great card so far, and they're not finished.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Tony versus Nick Gage, and just to get Tony back and also going against Nick Gage. Maybe that will kind of reset Tony Deppen on our radar, hopefully.
Yeah, he got a good legit job there, and like he was saying, he's kind of laying into that. But at the same time, he says he really does miss being on the road with everyone and being social. So I hope this is the start of him being able to at least come back and do a couple things, even if they're more localized, because this is a Philadelphia show and he's not far from there. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of convenience, and I feel like we're very fortunate if we can obviously see him a couple times here or there. And against Nick Gage is a huge bonus.
Yep.
Really looking forward to that. All right.
I wonder if they're going to kind of play into, like, I don't know. I forgot who Tony wrestled the one time where they kept on throwing weapons into the ring and he kept on throwing them out of the ring. Like, no, we ain't going to wrestle that way.
That was good. Yeah, he was throwing, chairs would come in and then he'd throw the chairs out. He'd slide them out, or a table or a door would come in. He'd slide the door back out.
I'm wondering how intense that match is going to be with Nick Gage, and I'm excited for that one. I'm more excited to have Tony back, but that's going to be a good match back for him.
And then tickets are also on sale right now for that show, so you can go out there and find tickets. Also on sale, Sunday, May 19th, GCW's The Sunday Night Special from Ridgefield Park Knights of Columbus building from Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. So far, we have no matches announced. Interesting. So I will give the few names that are scheduled to be on this show. Griffin McCoy, Brandon Kirk, Casey Catal, and Bangin' Matthews. Again, tickets are on sale right now. I'd say get on that one early. I'm a big fan of those Sunday shows, or sometimes the smaller quote unquote shows, because they're more personal. And sometimes you have a better chance to meet the wrestlers, talk. It's a little more laid back. It's a little more friendly. I really do recommend that. If you want to meet a couple wrestlers, talk, say hi, maybe they have an extra minute more than they usually would have with you at, say, some of the larger shows. Take advantage of those small shows, guys. I'm not kidding. Those are great shows to go to. When there's only 200, it's a lot less for the wrestlers to deal with, and they can be more personal than if it's 1,000 at LA or who knows how much in AC. So please take advantage of those. I recommend it. I highly recommend. Those are the coolest shows sometimes because the wrestlers also let more of themselves loose, and you get to see sometimes more of their personality.
Yeah. I was actually kind of too just looking at the after hour cards too, because that's where Jordan versus Griffin McCoy, part 4,
19.
3. I don't know. I was going to say 100. I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I was like, I don't. I saw that one. I was just like, why again? Oh well. But
He's not my cup of tea either. I don't have any dislike, but I'm just like, who is he friends with that has him keep coming
Jordan.
back in the main event of the show?
I actually really liked Griffin when I first saw them as Young, Dumb, and I thought Jordan and Griffin were the two probably best fits to kind of get something out of their career in wrestling and kind of be the next, not big thing, but the next thing in wrestling. But I don't know. I haven't seen Griffin kind of hit as of lately. And I'm kind of disappointed in that because him and Jordan should be having some really, really good matches. But I just feel like Griffin's not kind of keeping his weight there in these matches. But I don't know. Dog collar match. We'll see what's going to happen there. We got the Effie versus Manson, the JCW version with Jordan versus Griffin McCoy here.
I feel like Griffin is being forced on us. Again, I'm just being honest here and I'm just being fair. I feel like you're going to like him because we want you to like him, and you're just going to see him in the main event over and over, and he's important because we say so, but all the fans are going, eh. And I talk to a lot of fans, bro. We're all like, eh. And like I said, I'm not the first one to say who does, and we figured it, but who does he know that keeps getting him in these positions where it's like,
like I said, I just feel like he's kind of never hit like where I thought he was going to go. I thought he had a lot of potential. He's got the looks. He was like, I don't know like what's happened, but like he hasn't like improved as much as I thought he would be. And the whole like my time now and having the big fancy flashy watch is kind of like, okay, that's it. Like that's not, I don't know. I hope we get a different version of Griffin McCoy, hopefully going into this match against Jordan at least, and Griffin can start reaching some of that potential. I think he did, but I am kind of burnt out. I love Jordan. I used to love Griffin as much. I used to love Griffin way more back then, but I just feel like this feud's kind of been played out now too long, and hopefully to see it end and hopefully see them both move on to different feuds or different aspects in their career.
Well, him and Alec were magic. So maybe we got a little by Jordan and Alec. I don't know, but they seem like they worked better together also. But yeah, nothing bad. It's just nothing.
No, I agree. I'm just saying,
move to the middle of the card and let's get someone else elevated up the card that we want to see maybe, or want to see a little more. Just for now, the character is not my my taste. Characters always change. Nothing personal by far, because I've heard he's a fantastic gentleman. So I'm just saying his approach right now isn't for me. That's perfectly fine. He doesn't do it for me. He does it for everyone.
Yep. All right. I think that is everything. Did we hit everything already?
I think so. I'll tell you this much though. Thank you for everyone, sticking with us here. It's 1:30 in the morning almost on the East Coast. There's 400 of us sitting in here just chilling together. So I say it all the time because I mean it. We love you guys and thank you so much for tuning in. We are building. We're constantly building. You can see that each show we have is a little different. We're just trying new things to figure out what we like to do. Tonight, I had some time. I just wanted to bang out history so everybody was kind of on the same page with who these newer folks are, what they're capable of. And we just realized we had a great weekend of newer folks come through the shows. And I would say 80 to 90% of them I do want to see back at some time. Even Lil El Schlacko. I'm cool with all of them coming back again, man.
I'm the same, man.
Damus was no bullshit. I really liked him, actually. Except for the ass biting. That's a nightmare. But, luckily Cole got the glutes together before he probably did a couple extra squats to make sure he's looking good for camera.
Damus was like the bushwhacker version of El Schlacko in a lucha form.
Dude's a fucking bushwhacker. That's a great way to put it. He's got that you know, he's just got that wild
Unpredictability. Yep.
I wouldn't have put, you know, biting someone in the ass as a main, you know, offensive move, but
On a Lucha card, even that was
On a
outside the Effie match. That's another thing. I don't think we mentioned it. They even said, like, what's with all this ass biting and kissing and stuff? We haven't even got to the Effie match yet. I loved when they called that out on commentary.
Yeah, we had so much PDA going on in that thing between the nipples and the ass biting. I'm like, fucking Lucha is wild. I'm a new fan. Damn, I was already a fan. I didn't know that's what goes down in Mexico like that.
Yeah,
Damn.
Damus was a surprise. Galeno Del Mal, like that one was a surprise for me. Like, holy, in 22, wow. I'm even more shocked now. So I had to find out some more of his stuff and check him out more.
He's directed by some of the best out of Mexico. He's, you know, bloodline, so to speak. His look is fantastic. A1, you know, he's going to the big companies. You can already see it when you have those big round muscles, like the old, like, yeah. So I had another guy in mind that he reminds me of, but I just couldn't think of the name of him. But it's another one. He's like 30 years in, and I know he wanted to be in GCW, but we just never brought him in. And I can't think of his name, but damn, he was on Lucha Underground too. Oh well, doesn't matter. But I think we did it. I know. I'm trying to Mil Mascaras.
Damn it.
That's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Mil. Hopefully without any issues. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. 2.5 hours, my friend. We went a little long, but I really do feel it was worth it.
Yes, we hit a good show, and I'm excited for next week. Jack Cartwheel. I think that we got a lot of questions that we could ask him that's outside of wrestling, even on top of that. But he's going to be a fun interview, just like how Blake was, how Alec, Cole, all the guests that we've had has been fun and incredible. So yeah, I can't wait to get into the mind of Jack Cartwheel and talk to him on the podcast here.
And please don't be afraid to ask questions. DM me, ask them publicly, and we'll put them on here. Sit in chat, and we'll do them. Like, people are sitting in chat. I'm talking to chat people mostly, but yeah, get those questions over to me, because I'm sure there's some good ones that he would love to answer. So we're really looking forward to it. It's another new interview on our list. We're just going to keep popping and banging through the roster, so to speak, as much as possible. But we've been very fortunate to have some fantastic guests on, and they've all been interesting in their own ways. So our hopes are really for any fans who are watching to get to know that performer better on a professional and a personal level. So we're going to try to do our best to keep giving that to you as much as possible. Oh, I am done, my friend. I feel good. We did it.
It feels kind of nice to go 2.5 hours, and it's only 10:30, not 11:30 or 12. So that's kind of nice too.
That's true. That half hour moving up with Effie was just fantastic. So yeah, we're looking tonight. Everybody out there in GCW world got 5.5 hours of entertainment tonight for a Tuesday night. Like, that's about as good as you can ask for. We're trying to create this wall of entertainment, and we're trying to make Tuesday GCW's night. So you've got a Friday show or a Saturday show, but at least you have something on like Tuesday to look at and talk about. So if there's anything you want to tell us, please DM Brant and bitch at him as much as possible. Give me nothing but good news. I like apple juice. If anybody wants to add to my poisoned apple juice. Someone scared the shit. I can't remember who it was. Scared the shit out of me. He's like, "You're drinking that poison," because there was a recall. But I get most of my
I remember seeing that in chat.
Yeah, so I guess Target and somewhere else there was a recall on literally the apple juice that I drink. And everybody always talks about my apple juice because I'm in that that little weird container thing. It looks like piss, but yeah, there was a recall from like Target and somewhere else, but I get mine from Walmart. But yeah, somebody scared me for about 3 seconds, and my big fat ass heart almost popped and stopped. It's going to be an exciting week. Everything should be good. There is a podcast that I will be on. I just don't know if it's live or recorded. I'm going to be over with Woods Wrestling Corner. They wanted to kind of do a little interview of us and talk to us a little bit. So I will be over there. Again, I'll communicate as much as possible. If this is a live thing, I'll put it out there. You kind of know how we go. You know how we do. We're just going to do it over there with some people who are interested to talk with Game Changer Weekly. So
Yeah, I am not going to be able to make that one. Friday's my day from hell, so I
Yeah.
will be excommunicado on Friday. I will not be reaching out or touching anything. I have our school's field day that day, and it's a crazy day, and it's all by myself. So I will pass on that interview. But the one we did last night with Wrestle Dads, I actually really enjoyed it. Wrestle Dads was a fun interview that we did there, and yeah, I kind of really wish I wanted to do that one with you on Friday. Just it's kind of nice being on the other side of being interviewed or having to do all the work and come up with the questions. We just had to sit there and chill, relax, and respond. So I can't wait to watch yours on Woods. Was it Woods for Wrestling, you said?
Let me look again just because I don't want to say it wrong. That would be disrespectful. Woods Wrestling Corner.
Woods Wrestling Corner, sorry.
Yeah, and you can actually find them at Woods Wrestling. So I mean, it's a cool little site. What they wanted to do was just talk for a while. I'll be without you, so I'll be shaking like a scared puppy in a corner. But
you'll be fine. If
I
you
just
could go through
pretend
Blake,
they're you.
you could go through this.
I pretend that Blake was you. I'm going to pretend that they are you, and I'm just going to talk like normal. I'll probably just show up drunk. Like I said. Like I don't really drink, so yeah, but that's going to be fun. I think at some time it'll be cool to talk to Wrestle Dads again. We'll try to figure it out. Nicest of people, the two kids and the dad. So I just recommend it. When it does come out, I'll let everyone know. They're GCW fans just like us, and they're trying to create some content. So they asked some questions of us we've never had to answer before. They had us ponder things we've never just sat and thought about too much. And I thought that really did make for an excellent show. So they did a great job. It was supposed to be 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know us.
That's
we
what
went, what, an hour 40?
Just about to say, in Game Changer Weekly fashion, we turned a 30 to 45 minute interview into an hour and 45 minutes. So be aware, Woods Wrestling Corner.
How the hell do we go this many episodes and still have something to talk about? Mind boggles me, but I think like I'm kind of crazy and you're luckily like patient enough that that I think it works
and crazy
out,
enough
and crazy. Well, we tried to hide that. I can only talk about my craziness. So we did it, brother. What do you say? You ready to rock and roll out of this mother? Yeah.
Yes, let's send them out of here. Like we always do. Oh my
God,
we
always do. Hey, I forgot last week alone. I was like, I don't even know how to close this fucking show. Like,
I watched that. You're like, okay, bye. This dude, I laughed at that point because it was like that was the first time I felt you like, oh shit. That was like the what do I do here moment.
It's true, and that's the dead honesty. I was like, oh shit, I'm not used to being the one to end this. So thank you for listening, and yeah. That was the first time in over 90 episodes that I've actually done Long Live GCW by myself, ever.
Yep.
Took almost 2 years for that to happen.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Thank you, everybody, for listening and coming in. Again, we fucking love you. I'm going to be pushing this episode out in the morning a little bit, too, so everybody else can listen to it. We had a fantastic turnout, as we always do. So you ready to do this, brother?
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Long.
Ooh, that was good.
We got good internet today.
Oh no, I just live long live G C
S-I or C? It's like
C
W.
W. Have a good night. We fucking love you all, guys.
Thank you, everyone.